Welcome to E.D.J. Studios. This is the E.D.J.podcast. We're back with another sports episode. You know, NBA finals are coming. The playoffs are coming. I think today, Sunday, last game of the season. And, you know, we got to bring Fernando for this one. What's going on, bro?
How you doing, man?
NBA, again, driving me crazy. I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on. What do you think? I think we haven't been here for a while. We haven't done one of these in a while. So let's start quick with probably the biggest trade in history. They're comparing it to the Great Bambino. They're comparing it to when this guy left Boston.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No,
Is
that
it
was
the craziest trade ever to me?
it's a massive trade because it kind of happened in the middle of the night. There was literally no warnings on it. There's no rumors about it. There was nothing, no speculation of like people being disgruntled or like people not getting along. It was just like you wake up and it's like, oh, Luka traded to the Lakers, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, like it's like an April Fool's joke.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, no, it was. And then the thing is, like, you know, and the weird thing about it is he didn't bring other teams to get more pieces.
Yeah, that's what's so weird to me. So it's like, okay, so you just go to the Lakers, you get nothing. Not that he didn't.
AD is somebody, man.
He's a great player. I
feel bad for AD on this trade because he's getting dogged on this.
Me too. I'm gonna take that back. They got AD, generational talent, but we're talking about Luka, maybe top 3 player in the NBA, 25 years old, in his prime, basically no crazy injury history, unlike AD. It's not an even trade. Like you can't trade Luka Doncic straight up for AD. That's not an even trade.
I don't think it was a basketball move. I think it was more like a personality. Like they didn't like that Luka drank. They didn't like that Luka didn't get himself in peak shape.
Cool. Every team has the ability to trade whoever they want. But shouldn't you get the max for Luka?
Who unless you get in the Joker or SGA, like how do you get equal value for Luka?
Okay, you don't. But like to me, they should have asked for more. Like I
what
need
more?
I don't know.
Reeves,
yeah. Like give me something.
The thing is, like, you come to me and you don't come to anybody else.
Do you think?
Who am I trading? Who am I battling for this?
Okay, but do you think Lakers, if they say I need AD and Reeves, you think Lakers is saying no? I think Lakers is saying yeah.
I'm gonna say no because I'm gonna see. All right, what is the other option? You came to me, so you obviously want to get rid of him.
Exactly.
So like, unless there's somebody else putting in something better than me, then I'll be like, all right, maybe we got to throw Reeves in there.
What about if they go Phoenix? Hey, I got Luka.
That's the question. Do they want like? I think they'll burn the stadium down if they would have brought KD.
I don't know, man. That's just one of the craziest
like at least
trades.
with AD, you like before he got hurt, you could sell like his defense, and when he's healthy, he is like one of the like you could say top 3 big men in the league. When he's healthy,
I think healthy, top 3 player in the league. Not just
I mean, if you're looking at it from a two-way perspective. Yeah. I mean, he defends at a high level. He's going to give you 27, 28 a game. Yeah. He's going to rebound. Yeah. He does it all. It's just he just can't stay healthy.
That's my issue with AD.
And they can at least sell that. Like, you know, he has a championship, even though it was a bubble championship, but he's played at that level. Yeah. He gives you the numbers. And then his whole thing is he wants to play power forward. You got Lively, you got Gafford. So now he can play that power forward role. Well, he won't. And you're going to have the best defensive, you know, like a big man combination. Like
like I said, AD is awesome, but
you know that I mean, when healthy, ideally that's going to be the toughest paint to get a bucket in.
Yes, but this is the problem. That's the problem with AD, and it's always been the problem with AD. I don't trust him because even it's a process to get this dude to the playoffs. Because throughout the season, he's getting all these little injuries here and there. So he's in and out of your lineup, which like causes issues with knowing your lineup, everybody playing together and knowing what's going on because he's constantly in and out. That's always been, even in the playoffs, AD is like out half of this game. Then like it's crazy.
I mean, it's wishful thinking, man. The hope is when healthy, you got Kyrie Irving, you got AD. You got two big shot blocking defensive centers. Yeah. One off the bench, one coming back in.
On paper, they have a great team.
On paper, they should be one of the best teams.
Yeah, but
in the West,
they have the same issue because they have the same type of player. Two great, talented players. You know how I feel about Kyrie Irving. Great talent, but Kyrie needs somebody to carry him to the finals so he could perform. Kyrie by himself, what has he done? Where has he gotten a team? Honestly, nowhere. So to me, he's a great player, but he gets hurt. If he has to carry the load, his body can't handle it. He gets injured.
Well, he should have gotten to the finals. With the Celtics, he should have. If he didn't get hurt, and that year, and it was 2018.
Yeah.
If he didn't get hurt, they would have beat that Cavs team.
Yes, I agree.
For sure. They went 7 without Kyrie.
I agree, but what team did they have? They had a full team where he could.
Yeah, but they were all young though.
True, but the depth was so much that Kyrie didn't need to play crazy minutes or like.
But if you look at the the Mavericks, right?
Yeah.
If healthy, they are pretty deep still.
Yes.
Yes. They got Martin, that Christie dude from the Lakers. He's been playing pretty well.
Yeah.
They do got some guys. No.
On paper for next year. Again,
Dinwiddie's another guy who can get you some buckets.
But to me, like I said, I just
on paper, like if all healthy, I think that's what they're banking in. Then I don't think they were looking at it. What if this guy gets hurt? Yeah. I think they're looking at it on paper.
Yeah,
and they didn't want to pay Luka. That's what it was.
I think a lot of moves are being done, and we spoke about this. I think the NBA is doing a lot of moves based off money.
Yeah. Well, and the thing with the new CBAs and how the way things work is like you're locked into this dude, so you have to really believe in him to pay him that much money. Yeah. So if you don't, then you're like, I got to move him and I got to get something.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot of moves like that. A lot of teams you're gonna be like scratching your head, like, why the hell did they do this? And it's gonna be based on I don't want to go in that luxury tax. So
yeah, it's gonna happen.
But that trade is still so crazy to me. All the stuff they said about Luka.
Yeah, I mean, it's
out of shapeness. Like,
I mean, the thing with Luka is a tricky one because if Luka gets hot and he wins a championship with the Lakers, then they're gonna really want Nico's head.
I don't think it matters at this point.
Well, the thing is like this:
if they win, of course.
If Luka doesn't do shit on LA, then Nico could save himself.
Yeah.
And if the Mavericks somehow get a championship, then he can justify it. People are gonna be like, he's a visionary. You know what I mean? Like he saw this. Like
I think Luka is a competitor at heart.
He is.
So I think Luka's taking this as a challenge. He's gonna be in shape and like he's gonna be locked in.
The only thing about Luka is defensively.
Yeah, it's liability, of course.
I think for the Lakers to be, at least for me to take him serious, they would have to put more defenders around Luka.
This is what I've been saying. Like when I saw this trade, when I saw it happen, I'm like, okay, cool. This is for next yeyear. Like
not next year. This is for like 5 years from now.
I think next year,
for when LeBron retires, this is what it is.
No, I think if Bron was like next year, I think Bron is still gonna be putting up some.
Like, what do you think is gonna change next year?
But this is what I mean. They need to add defensive players. They need to.
Where are you gonna put them? You got Bron and Luka on the floor. You got 2 guys who don't defend, and then you got Reeves, another guy who's not known for defense. You already have 3 guys you got to make up for.
True.
What Superman level defender you need on that floor?
Need definitely bigs. Like that is because they're gonna it's gonna be tough because they have scoring ability.
Yeah, they have scoring.
So they're gonna outscore most teams. So all they don't need to be.
We tried this in Brooklyn, man.
But it's different. It's different.
It's different. So you say, well, how's different? Like
who was in Brooklyn?
You got KD, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving. All 3 of them are better scorers than Reeves.
Yes, but they're not locked. They're players that don't lock in. They don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you're talking about offense. You're saying you can substitute defense and just if you have all this offense. And I'm saying we've seen a team just loaded with offense. And if the shot's not falling and they got no defensive backbone,
no, that's true.
They fall apart.
They just, like I said, they just need a little bit down low.
A little bit. They need a lot of bit.
True. Again, like I said, it's just better. Like I don't like the chances right now. Like it's. Crazy.
I just don't listen. You got to pay Luka all this money. LeBron's already making $50 million a year. Reeves you're gonna have to pay Reeves.
Yeah.
Okay, where are you gonna get this defender, this high level that's gonna take pennies?
I don't know.
Go play triple the defense for LeBron and Luka.
I don't know. That is a question they need to figure out. But obviously, Lakers figure it out, man. I don't know how they get all these players. I don't where does this Where does it come from?
I think this one was a move for 4 or 5 years from now. LeBron retires, then we can like really lock in and get some defenders to be around. Because that's how Luka got to the finals. If you look at those teams, I mean, I know Kyrie Irving's not the best defender, but he's a willing defender, and he tries. Yeah. All right. And then you put him around all these other guys that defend. Yeah. Because if you look at that team, you know, P.J. Washington, I mean, he's not an all-NBA defender, but he defends. He defends. And then you had all this rim protection. You had a lot of guys coming off the bench that can defend. So surrounding him with that allows you to make up for him not being able to cover the perimeter. Oh, they blew by him. Oh, you got Lively and Gaffer at the rim.
You got bodies.
You got bodies to make up for that. Okay, but in LA, most of the guys that play don't defend.
And they're banking on 40-year-old LeBron.
Yeah, you're banking on 40. I mean, and it's kind of unfair in a way to like bank all that on him.
I think that's one of the reasons why, like, he's hurt. Like
he's hurt out there. Yeah,
like it's not.
I know they want to talk about longevity. I'm like, bro, he's hurt out there. He's struggling.
Yeah, and I think people is gonna in the playoffs. That's when you know what's what. Like, we're gonna see what's what with. I think Curry's good, even though he got hurt last game. I don't know if you noticed.
He got hurt, but he played again.
He came back, but still. I think it's in shooting. Isn't in shooting hand? I believe.
I forget which.
The thumb. I'm not sure, but like in the playoffs, you can't hide. Like the wear and tear, the toughness comes in, the physical battle starts, and I want to see if LeBron makes it all the way through the end.
I give him.
I don't think so.
He's. This is he got hurt in March.
Yeah.
And he got hurt in April.
Yeah. And he's still, any little weird movement, he's still.
Yeah, he's not going to be the same.
So I think we're going to see what happens with Steph when
if they play the Warriors. I'm telling you now, if they play the Warriors in the first round, I think Warriors whooping them.
Me too.
I see Kuminga or Butler on Luka.
Yeah.
And then the other one is going to cover Bron, and I think they're gonna get
it's gonna
get it done on them.
Yeah, I think the Warriors are gonna be. If everything falls right, I think the Warriors are coming out of the.
I hope they come out so we can whoop their ass.
Me too. What they did with that, and I'm mad at the coach. It's not against anybody else, but what Kurt did to
Tatum.
Yeah, to the Boston Celtics. It wasn't just Tatum; it was Brown too. Like what they did to Boston.
Yeah, they snubbed Brown, then didn't play Tatum. Yeah, I'm like, what are they like? These are our top two guys. What are you saying?
And then they picked like.
The Holiday and White.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I don't know.
And I kind of feel bad for White because he got put in that position.
Yeah.
Like, it's an opportunity to play in the Olympics. And he's not going to be like, nah, give it to Brown.
He's great,
And he is great, but like, dude, like I have no problem with them getting White, but like, you're not going to call Brown.
Yeah. And it was all messed up. Like, Steph was horrible in the Olympics, except for the last 3 games.
Yeah, the last few games he was killing it. He was like their guy.
The last 3 games he brought the chip in, but he was horrible. He was still out there getting minutes, and you couldn't find minutes for.
Yeah, good luck taking him off. Like his coach is gonna have to explain that to him during the season.
Yeah, but that's crazy to me. It's like, come on.
Yeah, but even worse, Embiid was horrible.
Yeah,
like the whole playoffs, like the whole Olympics,
and you couldn't fit Tatum. To me, that was some personal bullshit.
Tatum is. No matter how you feel about him, he's top 5 in the league, in my opinion.
I think so. And I think when the playoffs starts, people are going to...
You couldn't find... And think about it. He's top 5 in the league, no matter how you feel about it. But let me finish. 3 of them dudes are not even from America.
It's crazy.
So you can't find minutes for him?
And he's the only player that was All-NBA. Yeah. First team All-NBA.
Yeah.
So it's like... I don't know, man. Yeah. That was like, oh well, he wasn't hitting his shots. Curry wasn't hitting his shots to the end. You guys let him build his confidence.
It wasn't consistent the way they treated him.
Yeah, no.
So if he did that all the way around, like whoever's playing good, you start and you get all the minutes, and the guy's not playing well next game.
Yeah, and even after all of that, the disrespect from everybody, it seems like.
Yeah, Tatum has been getting so much disrespect.
Even from the refs. Like, to me, even the refs don't give him the superstar like treatment that a lot of other players get.
I think
and I don't get it.
Tatum needs to go into that. I mean, I don't know if he has it in him, into that Kobe mode, because Kobe went through this period where like he was just getting hate everywhere.
And to me, like people, he needs to talk. I'm like, no, he could just go out there and just ball and be quiet, and that's cool. But just kill everybody quietly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he needs to.
I don't think he needs to fight people, but I think he needs to stop being buddies with everybody.
Yeah.
Kind of like let it be known that I'm here to like kill.
Exactly. I'm not here
to shake hands and kiss babies. Like I'm here to like make people cry. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, see, and I think we're gonna see it. I think we're going back to back.
Yeah, I think they win back to back. Hopefully he gets the Finals MVP and they can get people off his back and like, and then people could treat him like the star that he really is.
Exactly. I think people,
and I think it's messed up like when they try to put like Brown against him, like, oh, Brown got the Finals MVP. Who's Batman? Like I'm like, they both can be like Batman and Superman. You know what I mean? Like they don't have to be somebody that doesn't have to be less for somebody to be more.
Look, I'll put it out. Tatum is a better player. Like this whole notion of like Tatum is a better player, and it shows by how he's defended when he plays. He is everybody's defending Tatum. Not everybody, but that's the vocal point, and he still gets his points. So to me, it's not like I think Brown is a better defender.
Yeah, I think Brown clearly is a better defender. I think when it comes to Brown is more of a dog.
Like the way he goes about it is more attractive to people, but the one killing you all the time is Tatum.
Well, if you look at if you and I'm not comparing him to these players, but if you look at like the players in the past that we've always like put above everybody, like the Jordans, the Kobe's, the Birds, like those guys wanted to fight you, and that's more of a Brown attitude. That's that's the qualities that Brown has is more of a like A1 player.
He's a dog.
You know what I mean? Usually your Robin was more like the quiet one, kind of doing things on the side. So like it's just interesting, like seeing the dynamic of that, like that your star is not the one trying to fight everybody. You know what I mean? It's new. It's something new that you got to obviously we got to get used to, but it still doesn't change the fact, like you said, who's getting defended, who's getting the tougher coverage.
Yeah, like everybody's. I mean, the guy is literally killing the league when it comes to like clutch points. Like there's nobody like statistically. How to say that?
Statistically?
Yeah. There's nobody better than Tatum when the game is on the line right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten into arguments with people about like who's better, SGA or Tatum, and I'm like, if you look at all around numbers, like I know SGA scores more, but if you look at all around, like their numbers are close. Like I know SGA is like the MVP and all of these things because of his number, which I think is kind of bullshit that they did this to Tatum last year.
Yeah.
Because when Tatum's team was number one, nobody was like, he should be the MVP.
Correct.
Even though his numbers were good.
Correct.
Now this dude's team's number one, and it's like, no, he should, like, it makes no sense.
I don't think SGA is.
And another thing I thought was bullshit, you might think it's like Boston bias, is like, how the hell did Cleveland get 3 All-Stars, and last year when we were number one, we didn't get 3 All-Stars?
Yeah, like I said, this is what I mean. The disrespect towards Boston is just it's crazy everywhere.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it. So they get 3 All-Stars, and we didn't get 3 All-Stars?
Yeah. But I think we're gonna get our payback in the playoffs. So
yeah, hopefully we pay him back in full. Bro. Exactly. I want to see if they're gonna rob Pritchard off that 6th man.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That'd be nuts if they rob Pritchard. Like I don't know who else would be. To take that from him.
But to finish with the Lakers, I think we kind of covered. But I just want to put the nail in the coffin. Your prediction: where are they going in the playoffs?
If they see the Warriors in the first round, they out in the first round. I mean, if they can get like there's certain matchups that I think they can win. I don't give them that many. Like I don't think they get past the second round if they win the first round. I don't think they. I mean, I know a lot of people say, oh, they're gonna beat Houston. Houston's young. I don't think in a 7-game series they beat Houston.
I'm with you. I think no matter who or how it happens, I think second round is their ceiling.
That's what. Yeah.
I don't care who it is, how it goes down. I think the Lakers are out by the second series. Either by LeBron getting hurt, something happening, whatever it is. But I don't think they're out. They're making past that.
Because like you got. I mean, their possibility. Damn, even if they get Minnesota, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Minnesota. Who else can get that? Can drop to 6. I think Clippers maybe could drop.
The Clippers.
I think it's like a 3-way battle between the Clippers, Warriors, and Minnesota.
Yep.
Can get that 6. All 3 of them is
like. I think the Clippers will give this. They'll give them hell too. The Lakers. I don't think if Kawhi stays healthy and is playing the way he's playing right now, alongside Harden, and of course giving the Harden doesn't do what he always does in the playoffs, and he actually plays his game. I think the Clippers are a team to watch, and a lot of people ain't talking about it, but I've been
Clippers
watching
are dangerous if Kawhi's healthy.
Yes, because Kawhi is just one of those players where it's just ice in those veins. I don't want a game close with that guy.
Man, can you imagine being Paul George right now?
I mean, that team got better because all the players that they got for Paul George is actually what's helped them.
Yeah, but you gotta see that. Like, as a player, like what they lost in the first round last year.
Yeah,
like if this team, all they had was a healthy Kawhi Leonard minus me, and then they're doing better.
Yeah,
then I'm like, damn. And then I go to Philadelphia, a team that made the playoffs.
I think Harden took a shot at Paul too. There was an interview. I'm not gonna remember what was said.
Harden be taking a lot of slick shots.
Yeah, but Harden was like he was blaming it on Paul George why the team was the way it was last year. I was like, we'll see.
I mean, what can Paul George say? He can't defend himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, look at his team now.
Like I said, there's players where I just don't see them like people see them. I don't see KD like people see KD. Because I base everything on, all right, cool. You started your career with a great team. You couldn't do it. You literally couldn't do it with OKC. You had great teams there the whole time when you were there. Couldn't do it. You go to the Warriors. You do it with them, but they did it before you and they did it after you. That should freaking kill you.
That negates any argument.
That kills you.
Any argument you had for KD after, when they beat Boston and was it 22?
Yeah.
That destroys any argument you had for KD because they did it after you left.
Exactly. Like it's just that's the same thing I have with like Kyrie Irving. I put Kyrie in that same thing. It's like, okay, you got with LeBron, you made it somewhere. After that, you can't do nothing.
Well, but the thing is like with Kyrie Irving, he was never at that level. Like no one ever had Kyrie in a top 20 debate.
True.
Like not that I know. Maybe people were in his neighborhood though.
No, but they have him like you'd say top point guards. Like he's up. Like people put him up there.
But yeah, like I've never heard anyone put Kyrie in a top 5 point guard debate. Never.
Active.
Not even active.
I haven't heard. I've seen like NBA players go like, but you got to put Kyrie with Curry.
I've heard it from a skill standpoint.
That's what I mean.
From a skill wise, you can put skill wise you can put anybody with anybody.
Exactly.
As long as, but when we're talking about like what he's done, like I've never seen anyone put Kyrie and Curry in the same conversation from what he's done perspective.
And that's the
that's I feel like Kyrie don't get that level of criticism because no one's ever had him in that type of conversation. KD, people were saying, he should be a top 5 all time. He's the greatest scorer of all. You know what I mean? You're putting KD in all these conversations. That's why he gets the hit.
That's true. But also people like I feel like certain players like Kyrie, I feel like they put him in that like he's so skilled, he'll kill anybody.
But I agree with that. He is so talented.
Yeah,
it's like with AI. Like you put AI in those conversations of talent.
Correct. AI is arguably better than Kyrie to me because
you can argue it, but
further.
You can argue it.
Yeah.
But
the reason why I say this, let me just people understand, is like how they compare. We had this conversation, Dwayne Wade with Harden. Yeah. And to me, it's that same thing. It's like it's not even in the same ballpark.
Well, it depends what conversation you're having.
Exactly.
If you're having is a pure talent, like forget the accolades, forget the trophies. Yeah. Like let's go skill for skill.
And that's
you can have that level of conversation. Yes. Right.
Same thing with Kyrie and KD. When you put it in that level of just skill wise, yes, you put those guys.
But when you have the conversation that I'm talking about, when it comes to like who's greater, whatever, like championships, accolades, all of that counts. And Kyrie doesn't have enough to be even in that conversation for him to have that much expectation.
Correct. That's true.
That's
KD
why
does.
KD does. KD has all these MVPs. Yeah. He has all these things. You know what I mean? Multiple championships, finals MVPs. He has these things where you expect more from him because like you've done this, so we expect all these other things. But he's kind of hurt himself. I feel like that stint in Phoenix really hurt his legacy. I think it really did.
I think so.
You missed the play-ins.
Yeah, like you by yourself, you should make it to the playoffs. That's my.
You should make it to the playoffs at least an eighth seed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, whatever. You can lose in the first round.
That's cool. Like you're by yourself, but
like,
yeah,
bro. Like the Mavericks got everybody injured and they made the play-ins.
KD should average Like he should have just gone. What would have Kobe done? Yo, my team is trash right now. He would have averaged 45.
Bro,
Like
Kobe.
That's what Kobe would have done. He would have gone on a tear and would have just averaged 45. And I don't see that fire from Cade. He's just like, I'm cool with losing.
You remember when Kobe blew his Achilles?
Yeah,
it was to make the playoffs, basically.
Yeah, he was on a fucking tear of the league because he knew his team wasn't there. His team wasn't, and I feel like these players should do that. Like, especially like Kevin Durant. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're old already. Like, you got just ball the fuck out and leave it all. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the mentality he should have, and that's why I think he's not a winner, because it's just like, all right, I did my part, whatever. Like, no, leave blood, sweat, and tears on the court like the great ones did before you.
I don't think he has the personality for it.
And that's where my point is coming to. A lot of these players, like a lot of people are high on SGA. I'm not. I don't think SGA. I think SGA is going to be one of those players. A great talent. But we're going to see right now, like, I don't know. Do you believe in OKC? Because I don't.
I think
I don't believe it.
I think they're in a weird spot, kind of like where Boston was a few years ago.
Yeah, or like
where they're like young, they're talented, but you're like, who's gonna like grab it? Like who's gonna like fucking just go take that trophy? Like, you know what I mean? Like
I seen SGA when things get physical. I seen him like just, like I just seen him like go out. Like when things gets hard, I don't think that team is gonna make it.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, and they got to show growth in terms of like getting to a Western Conference Finals. Like last year they were number one, I think in the West. They didn't get to a conference finals. Like this year they got to take the next step.
Yeah.
I mean, they're too talented not to.
Correct.
And then you got, ESPN playing with you, saying like, who you think's going to the, and a lot of people counting them out. Like not everybody, but like there's a lot of people on there saying like the Lakers are going to beat them. They're too young. Like I don't have any confidence in them.
I don't know about the Lakers beating them, but I don't.
They're jumping out the window saying the Lakers are going to the finals.
No. No. What Gil did with the whole, he dressed up like LeBron the doll, that was nuts.
It's a different level, man. Like
it's crazy.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We're different times, man. I feel like stuff like that wouldn't have been respected back then.
Yeah, like that is crazy.
Like there's one thing if you love watching a player, that's your favorite player, you get their jerseys, you know what I mean? You watch the game. But like the level of like glazing that goes on is
that one threw me off, because that was like, it was bad, but that one was just like, what the I couldn't believe that one. I was just like,
it makes it hard because it's like, bro, like, do you really feel like that, or someone's paying you? And if someone's paying you, it makes it hard for people to be like, are you saying that because you believe it, or are you just saying it because someone's paying you?
Yeah, it's bad.
Because I've seen video of Gilbert Arenas while Kobe was playing and LeBron was playing, saying Kobe is way better than him. There's nothing like LeBron does better than Kobe. Like I've seen videos of him saying Kobe's better than him. So what the hell flipped? Matter of fact, I've seen videos of LeBron in 2010 saying that Kobe was the best player in the world. This is LeBron after finals appearance. This is LeBron after MVP.
Yeah.
LeBron after his highest scoring average season, I think was like 31 or 30. Might have been 31 when he was in Cleveland. So this is after he's been in the league for like 8 years or so. He's saying Kobe's the best in the world. And then I just said, what changed for him to leapfrog him like this?
A lot of people.
You know what I mean? His first 2 championships, like he went to Miami. He had to go copy off somebody else's test to pass the exam.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, listen, no one's gonna debate whether what he did is great. Yeah. It's just the how.
Correct.
When the how matters.
Yeah. And
they want to eliminate the how. Like, I can't put those 2 chips in the same conversation with Kobe's 2 with Paul.
No. And this is the thing, right? Like, I like Bron. I think LeBron is a great player. Like, I don't subscribe to when people like say LeBron's not even a top 10 player. That is, you taking it too far. Like whatever, you got your preferences, that's cool. I think LeBron is a great player. But he is not number 1. And that's okay. That's the thing I want LeBron fans to understand. He's a great player. But he is not number 1. To me, he's not number 2. And it's based on the criteria of this dude had to go and learn to win, to be a dog, to finish games.
Yeah. No, yeah.
the other two didn't. They brought that in from the get go. They were that guy. There was never. You never saw, like, not you never saw. You saw pressure affect Michael. You saw pressure affect Kobe. You saw it in a few games in the finals. But those dudes, they never need to go run nowhere. They figured it out on their own, and they came back and got better.
I mean, matter of fact, Kobe made it harder for himself. He wanted Shaq out of there.
Exactly.
He could have just stayed with Shaq and won a few more.
Exactly.
He probably would have gotten to 6 or 7 with Shaq.
Exactly. Well, he was number one. But
Kobe understood the criteria to chase Michael.
Exactly.
He said, I got to get these on my own. I got to prove that I don't need Shaq.
Exactly.
And this dude, instead of saying, I got to prove that I could do this, he took as many shortcuts as he wanted to. And you have to add that in the debate.
Exactly.
Yeah, he did a lot of great things, but he took a lot of shortcuts.
Correct. And like I said, it's not even about, like that's why I hate, my debate always comes to this when it comes to the greatest of all time. 5 minutes, who you want. If you're a real basketball player, you're not going to pick LeBron James. Like, if you tell me 5 minutes in the game, who I know will die out there for 5 minutes, you're not picking LeBron James. I don't care what you tell me. You know you're picking these two guys first. MJ and Kobe. You know this. There's even just the fear factor of a close game with these two players makes people sweat. LeBron doesn't do that. And that's something. And it all comes down to the mentality. I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. LeBron
has never had it. He developed it somewhat in his career. Never reached that level of the other two, though. That killer will, has never been to that level of Jordan and Kobe, to me. So I can't put him number one.
Yeah.
Look, and to me, this is even worse. He's a bigger, faster, stronger person than the other two.
He's had all the advantages.
That's my point. Like, he literally even has a physical advantage over the other two by far, and he still doesn't have the, let's put it this way. If LeBron had that killer will, there ain't nothing anybody should be able to do. Everybody will have to foul out. It should be like Shaq. You will have to have people bring in bodies just to take fouls, because LeBron, 5 minutes left, should make you foul the shit out of him. But we know he don't want that because he's going to miss the free throw. But even so, Shaq did it, but it caused so much problems for teams that they needed to have just bodies. Even Shaq missed them, whatever. LeBron should do the same. That's what I feel like. It should never pass the ball. No, you should dominate. And I don't feel like LeBron ever really clearly does that when it matters.
He doesn't have a lot of iconic game-winning, shit on the line. If you look at Jordan versus Utah, when he hit that shot at the buzzer or whatever to win the game, he stole the ball before that. He had the clutch stop with the clutch shot right after. Those iconic moments, I don't think he has.
No, when the pressure's on, LeBron, if you look at Warriors, when they beat the Warriors, right? It was
Kyrie who hit that shot.
Yeah, LeBron played great he played great, and even in that last game. I'm not saying he didn't play great. The numbers back it up.
Yeah, of course.
The defensive play backs it up.
That block he had on that was crazy.
We get that. But if you look at the second game, when they first won, the second, the third, leading to the last game, he played better in the other games. At the last game, the person that was what people were worried about was Kyrie Irving. And that's what I mean. He'll play great in final game, but in a game 7, usually it's not that clear.
To win the game, the strategy was get Steph Curry on Kyrie.
Correct.
That was a strategy. It wasn't get LeBron on, get LeBron versus whoever. It was get Kyrie versus Curry.
And that's what I mean by it just.
So it's why is that the strategy if you're the GOAT? Why wouldn't it be get the GOAT the ball versus whoever?
Exactly.
It's a lot of my take is different. Is if he is the GOAT, what happened versus the Mavericks? And if you substitute him that same year, 2010, take him out
and
put in Kobe, you think they lose?
No way.
No way. So if he's the GOAT, Why? You know what I mean?
And like I said, and this is why LeBron has gotten all this hate, is because to me, like I said, LeBron is number 3. And I'm proud to put him on number 3.
I'm leading him out of 3. I might start looking for other.
I'm not there yet.
And it comes because he lies too much.
Like something,
and it makes it worse.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm like, Tim Duncan beat his ass like how many times in the finals?
Correct.
You know why is he above Timmy? That's why I start.
And like I said, yeah, like you can have those conversations. I'll keep him at 3, but that's where like the hate comes from, because he doesn't let it go.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like Kobe never pushed for this conversation with Michael. Everybody put him there. He didn't. People put him as, you know, the second coming of Michael.
He always respected Mike.
Yeah, exactly. And LeBron started that way, but
the thing is, he came in very disrespectful.
In the sense of
when
taking his number.
He took his number.
To me, I don't think it was a disrespect.
I think it is. Kobe knew better. Kobe knew better not to take that 23.
I think because Kobe is right in that age with Michael, I think LeBron is more of a fan of Michael. So it's more like, you know, I want to be like Mike. So it wasn't like I didn't take it as in like.
I think Kobe was just as much of a fan of Mike. He wanted to do everything like Mike.
No. A lot of people were fans of Mike, but
he even chooses gum like Mike, bro.
No, I get all that. But I think Mike, the fame, the level of Michael was like, after he retired, like the people that grew up with the aura that was created, LeBron lived through that more than Kobe. Kobe like faced him. So it's a little different, I think.
I don't think so. I think I've heard people's take on it, and one take that I've heard was Kobe idolized Mike, and he wanted to learn from Mike. If you listen to like the conversation of like Mike talking about Kobe talking about Mike said that Kobe used to call him at 3 a.m. Like Kobe was asking Mike to teach him.
Yes.
LeBron came in saying, "I'm the chosen one. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here to replace you. I'm taking your number 23,
and I'm gonna
be better than you. I'm gonna eclipse you." That attitude turned Mike away, and that's why they don't have a relationship.
It's
because Mike looked at, and if you heard an interview from Mike, Mike said that all these young kids get paid off potential. I don't know if you ever heard that interview.
Yes, I've seen it.
He said a lot of these dudes are getting paid off potential. And I think this was around the time LeBron came into the league. I may be wrong. But I think this was like around that 2000.
Yeah.
And he was commenting on that. A lot of these dudes, they haven't done shit, and they're getting all this attention, all this money.
Which ruined the NBA.
So I think LeBron fell in, even though LeBron is worth all the attention.
That's what I was going to say.
Because he came, but at the
LeBron
time
lived to the
he lived, but at the time he didn't do shit.
No. And thank God I think it's incredible even that he put himself in the conversation.
Yeah, no,
you know what I'm saying? Like even that to me is crazy, but
it's not one. But you got to think of the how. How did he do it? Because that's the thing is like if me and you were in school, and you studied, and I am cheating off somebody, and me and you get like similar test scores, I can't say like I'm the smartest guy in class.
No, that's true.
You're gonna be like, wait a minute, like you've been cheating, I've been studying, like I've been doing it the right way.
Correct.
I'm like, yeah, okay, you passed the class, we'll give you credit, you got a good grade, whatever.
Right.
I'll give you that respect that you passed, but you can't compare yourself to me.
No, in that sense, I agree.
And that's the thing. That's the thing with his fans. They don't want to admit that he took the elevator.
Yeah, like there's, but in that sense, I will like I don't know. Like there's one thing I give Kobe, and I give when a lot of people don't follow this thing. One thing I give Jordan, and I give Kobe. There's one thing. They landed with winners. I don't think LeBron landed with
Jordan landed with winners.
Their management, they won before Jordan.
What they win before Jordan?
The owners they were championships. Jerry Krause I think he was already a champion before.
For the Bulls?
Not for the Bulls, but another organization.
His team, he had no All-Stars.
No. That part I agree.
His team was
player wise. No, but I'm talking about like coaching wise. What they brought in, who they brought in for Michael to win. They brought in a coach that's won already.
Phil Jackson won. What did Phil Jackson do?
Phil Jackson won before Michael.
No, he did. What championships? Like as a player, but not as a coach.
We'll have to look at that.
Phil Jackson, all his championships came with Michael and Kobe.
Okay,
as a coach, I'm talking about. I think he won a championship as a player with the Knicks.
But that's what I mean. Like, even though they knew how to win, like these people knew how to win.
That's to me that's kind of BS. I mean, Darvin Ham won a championship. I think wasn't he on the Pistons? Didn't he win?
But it's the mind.
Didn't Darvin Ham won it? Didn't he win a championship? I think he won a chip. Darvin Ham, but it
is the mind. Like these people, like if like you could look at. There's no argument. Like Phil Jackson, even Michael will tell you. Michael will tell you like, yo, he knew how to win. Like these people like taught. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I disagree. Like, and I'll tell you why after.
Like that's one point I always look at. I'm like, I don't think. Like, tell me a coach that LeBron James played with that won before he got there. Like that won without him.
Yeah, Darvin Ham won a championship in 2004 with the Pistons. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah,
so
he was a championship player.
But what was his contribution to that championship?
I mean, what was Phil Jackson's contribution to that?
But it's the mind.
But he's the mind too.
Are you comparing Darvin Ham to Phil Jackson?
What I'm saying is this: Phil Jackson, like Michael Jordan, when he was there, he was this superstar who had the ball in his hand, similar to LeBron, right? And Jordan's best numbers came before all this triangle shit.
Yeah, but he didn't win.
Yeah, he didn't win. So what I'm saying is Phil Jackson changed all of that.
Correct.
All right, you telling me Phil Jackson, after 8 seasons of LeBron playing his way, he's gonna go in there and tell LeBron, no, you're not gonna have the ball in your hand. You're not running point, LeBron. Sorry, you're gonna be off the ball and play the small forward position. And LeBron's gonna be like, yeah, I'm cool with that. He wanted Spo out of there right out the gate. And Spo is a great coach, but he wanted Spo fired. So that's what I'm saying. A Phil Jackson and LeBron mix wouldn't have worked. Their personalities would have clashed because LeBron wants full control. Jordan had a different philosophy. I'm a player. I don't care what system you run. I'm good enough to beat anybody.
Correct. But again, talk to them. They'll tell you. Jordan on interviews is there saying, Phil taught me how to make it. Yes. Push me to the next level.
But why did he teach him? Because he was willing to learn.
But he had the option of a great player. Now tell me what coach LeBron had that was a champion as a coach.
He's had plenty of coaches who were the coaches of the year.
No, but before him. Because Ty Lue was...
Yeah, but how can you become a great coach and you get fired like out the gate because this dude don't like you?
But I'm saying you still have to give that to him.
I'm not giving it to him.
That's cool. That's what I say. Like I'm not giving. That's why I said I'm one of the only ones that has that opinion.
I can't give it to him because Jordan was a guy who he followed. Like Jordan, he's my role as a player.
Yeah, no,
I'm not the coach.
And me and you agree on that part.
Yeah,
like I agree with. I think Jordan trusted the people around him to make the team and build the team. Even though,
So does LeBron get blamed for all those coaches that got fired? You know what I mean? Like, does he, because he didn't want them there. So, like, does he?
Yeah, to me, I blame LeBron for leaving Spo. I blame LeBron from leaving Miami.
He left Spo.
Yeah.
Who's a good coach.
He's a good coach. Ty Lue, I don't know.
He left Lue.
He left, like that, I blame him.
So, I mean,
But then, look at this. Has Ty Lue had great players after LeBron?
Yeah, but they're always hurt.
That's part of the game.
And Spo been to 2 championships with so little talent.
With great coaching. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I blame him. Because you had great coaches and you always leave him or even though he never had a problem with Ty Lue, from what I understand. He wanted Ty Lue.
Ty Lue called him a...
Yeah, but he wanted Ty Lue and the Lakers. The Lakers said no.
But the Lakers were playing games. They wanted to pick his coaching staff. They wanted to put J. Kidd in as an assistant. He's like, bro, like, why are you gonna put my replacement on my staff?
Exactly.
Just in case you need to fire me.
But Braun did ask for him. The Lakers just said, I'm not.
Yeah, but he could have just stayed his ass with Ty Lue. Jordan retired when they got rid of Phil Jackson.
Yeah, he was like, I'm not.
Yeah, but that's his loyalty to his coach.
Exactly. But again, to me, that like it would be.
I just don't think you can give him points saying that he didn't have coaching when he wanted to be the coach himself.
I think that built into that through the years.
I don't think that's a good argument, in my opinion. I mean,
no. Like I said, that's why I said I'm one of the ones with my take. I'm one of the ones that only takes it that way. I seen the coaches. I see a coach as a very important role.
Yes, I highly agree.
I give a coach And like I said, if you look at NBA championships, it's all the same coaches. It's all the same coaches.
I'm with you on that.
The same.
I'm with you.
The same league. And like I said, I felt like for the first years of LeBron James, there was no winning culture there at all. There's not, from the top down, nobody's won anything anywhere. I think that is something that I give LeBron. Jordan.
Yeah, but he had when LeBron came into
the league,
mm-hmm. He had more talent than Jordan did.
Like I said, I'm not questioning that part. Like the talent on the team, I just think somebody needs to know how to win. Somebody needs to learn how to win.
Yeah, but I'm saying
and Phil Jackson was that for Jordan.
Like if you look at, like, for example, like when they both came in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Starting point.
Yeah.
LeBron had more talent. He had Carlos Boozer. Gauskas was an all-star.
Yeah.
He had point. He was in there with Darius Miles and Ricky Davis.
But that's what I mean by the argument of talent doesn't mean you're winning.
Yeah, but you have to accept direction. If you want all this control, guess what? When the ship goes down, that's on you. Double.
I agree with you there.
All right, so like you can't want control, and then when you don't have a good coach, be like, it's not my fault. Well, you were the one who's selecting these coaches. You're the one saying, I don't want this coach, I want this.
But that's later on. That's down the line.
Bro, they were getting. He had Mike Brown was a coach of the year when he had him.
But what are those coaches without him? That's my point.
I mean, you can't. Like, that's the thing. You can't give him credit for every coach's.
No, but the thing is.
And then shit on them when they lose.
The great coaches win no matter what. Great players or not great players, they're gonna get their team.
I mean, what has Phil Jackson done outside of Kobe and Jordan?
Well, he never coached after that.
Yeah, he didn't. He wouldn't coach anybody. I mean, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to downgrade Phil Jackson.
Because let's just put it this way.
You give an average coach in the NBA, an NBA level coach, like the average. You give them Michael Jordan, in the peak of his power. Like, they're gonna do something. I
disagree, and this is what I think they win, but I think
they're gonna do something.
They're gonna do. I don't think they win like that. That's it. Phil Jackson was such an important part. Michael Jordan said, "I'm not playing without him."
You know, he was an important part, but you act like he didn't have. We're saying Jordan is the GOAT, so he had the GOAT of all, like GOAT players, and then you're saying Kobe's the second of him, and then you had Shaq.
Yeah.
All right, you give that. Let's say to an Eric Spoelstra, or you give it to.
What happened with Kobe when Shaq and Phil left? Remember, Phil came back.
Yeah, but you saw the players that Kobe had over there, bro. There's still blooper reels on those players.
But still, Kobe was like, for the win run. Like I said, this is what I mean. You need leadership, and like you need to have somebody level-headed. Even so, like I'm gonna tell you, what made Phil Jackson a great coach? He knew how to deal with Mike. Mike was a problem to deal with in practice. He knew how to deal with Mike's energy. He knew how to deal with Kobe's energy. He knew when to talk to him, when to let it go. You need to have that. So somebody should have been at the top with LeBron to know, hey, bro, to deal with that energy.
There's no one to deal with his. He wants too much control.
And then,
and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at, is that you can't give him a pass when you're getting all these coaches fired.
No. It's not a pass. But like I said, I just give that. I always coaches is so important to me that I always look at the coaches. So like I said, so far, Jordan had a better coach in any way, shape, or form that you want to look at it. That doesn't just play calling, whatever.
I think he evolved into a great coach. I don't think he just started. He was like this hippie coach that said, "Get the ball out of Jordan's hand."
It's like this. It's like Mazzulla right now. Is he not a great coach right now? Or I think he's going to become a great coach? I think he's a great coach right now.
He's a good coach, but he's
going to become greater.
He's going to evolve into that next level coach. Yeah. But if Jason Tatum and Brown were like, "Oh, we're not having it with him," and then they get rid of him. No, but if let's say after they lost, they lost to Miami. Not last season, the season before, right?
That, yeah.
They say they didn't want him anymore.
Yeah.
Because they lost. They should have went to the finals again.
Correct.
Ime, they got to the finals. And they got rid of him.
Correct.
Does that change what type of coach Mazzulla is? Like, now he's a bad coach because they got rid of him.
Well, the thing is, we would have not known.
But that's what I'm saying to you.
No. But with Mazzulla, right? Like the mentality he came in, his idea of the game from the start is already there. You see what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, but I'm saying
it's like JJ. Like JJ, he already had the mind of a coach. Now he's implementing it, but I feel like JJ was going to be a great coach whether he was with Bron or not. Like I like JJ as a coach, and the reason why is the way he talks to the players.
I mean, JJ, I'm gonna see what he does before I give him any.
You don't think he's a great player, a great coach right now?
I think he has a chance to be one. I think if he I think if he had a younger team, I think
he has the potential is already there.
I think that with many coaches that the potential.
I don't. I look at a lot of coaches in the NBA. I'm like, oh, you just there to be there. I don't see a lot of good coaches.
A lot of them are getting fired like a season, 2 seasons in.
That's another.
Like you have to like almost pick and choose how you talk.
That is true.
Like you can be winning and like it's not easy to be an NBA coach today.
Right now,
back then you were
true.
Whether you won or lost, like you were a coach for a while.
I'm gonna give you that. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but like it doesn't matter whether you're a great coach or not.
I think to say all LeBron's coaches weren't good because they got fired. Like,
No. I don't say they were all good. I'm just saying none of them got to a winning spot before he got there.
Neither did Phil Jackson. That's what I'm saying. Like, what point are you making?
But Phil Jackson went and repeated it after Jordan.
Yeah, but with who? With Shaq and Kobe, probably the greatest duo fucking you ever seen.
That's also true because you need the players, but some of LeBron,
like Phil Jackson hit the lottery, man. Him and Red Auerbach, like they just hit the player the jackpot, like I'm not trying to take anything away from Phil Jackson, but what I'm saying is that we don't know. Like if LeBron would have stayed with a coach and said he would have won all these, say he did everything in Cleveland under one coach, we would all be comparing him to freaking Phil or Popovich or whatever.
See, like, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to I'm not bringing that as an excuse. And if LeBron had a great coach, I would put him number one. I'm not saying that. I don't think Bron wins 6, even if he had a great coach and they stay on the same thing. Like I said, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that is something that I look at because somebody learned from somebody. It feels like LeBron James came into the league and it was just there was nobody to learn from. Like
but he didn't ask. Like if you look at Kobe, right? Like it comes back to the same thing. But when Kobe came into the league, he had Mike's number. Correct. LeBron said in a thing in one of these like podcasting that when he was like 16 or 17, Mike gave him his number. He was at one of Mike's camps, and Mike he had Mike's number. He came into the league like I'm already there. I'm already eclipse everybody.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
He didn't reach out. Like Kobe came in and he reached out to Mike. How'd you win? How'd you get when you get the fadeaway? Like how like when to
Yeah, but I think is different for Bron in that sense because I don't think Bron working out with Mike would be good for LeBron.
How do you know that?
I just don't think.
I don't think Mike. You keep saying the killer instinct. You don't think if he would have been chilling with Mike.
Killer instinct, yes, but skill, I don't think LeBron could. I don't think LeBron is flex. I don't think Bron could copy Jordan.
It wouldn't be to a T, but he would have developed.
Just physically, it's not like I don't.
I mean, like Mike isn't. I mean, it's just a fadeaway, man. Like you can learn the fadeaway. You can learn.
No. Mike has the shiftiness that Mike has, LeBron don't have.
I think LeBron could have like now he's bulky as hell, but like back then LeBron was skinny when he came into the league. Not skinny, but like
I think Bron had better moves when he was lighter. Like
he was light. He was a lot lighter when he came into the league.
When he was in the league, he had like a little bit more. Then when he got big, it was just like it's like a line.
Yeah, he became like a truck coming down.
Yeah, LeBron is like a straight line. Like before that, he was more like Kobe. They could shift their body better. They have more. LeBron now is more like he's just a straight line. He's running through you.
I mean, in my opinion, he should have done what Kobe did and reached out. I mean, he came in like he had all the answers, bro. And it came to at least in his relationship with Mike, it kind of bit him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it is weird because Mike helped out everybody. Mike has never been that guy where like.
Yeah, you have to like reach out to Mike, like really.
Well, yeah, he's not really gonna.
He's not gonna really go out of his way.
Yeah, but if you did, he would.
I think he would have respected a young LeBron enough. I think once he saw LeBron basically claiming all these things.
Yeah,
I think he's like,
yeah. I mean, like I said, that's one thing I would give LeBron, like
the coaching,
the pressure. No, I'll give LeBron the coaching.
I can't co-sign on that one.
We'll agree to disagree on that one. But back to coaching. Let's get into the coaching now. What the hell is going on? Why are these coaching like what happened in number? That is nuts. I don't get it.
I'm gonna have to like agree with Shaq with a lot of the players being softer.
That's what I was gonna tell you. Is it because coaches don't have the power that they had before? Like a coach was respected back in the day. Like literally, the coach was respected.
Well, the coach dictated your minutes.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to get a contract, and you wanted to prove your worth, you need those minutes. So
you couldn't just call and be like.
So you fall in line with the coach.
Look how crazy the NBA was back then.
Yeah.
They let Michael retire because Jerry Krause or whatever, like they
didn't want to resign.
He
didn't want to resign Phil.
So they respected the GM more than Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan.
That's how every organization is ran. Like the top management is the one running the show.
But not anymore. It doesn't feel like that now.
Well,
because the players just like, I don't want this play. I don't want this coach. I don't want this manager. I don't get along. So they cater everything to the star player.
And I think that's what's hurting the league.
Yes,
is because the players they're kind of controlling too much. And the average fan that works a 9 to 5, they don't we can't just throw a temper tantrum and get somebody fired. Like, you know what I mean? Like work, this is what you're told to do. This is what you do.
I think,
and you do it. You go home and whatever. You know what I mean? Like you don't. I think cry away for this.
I think there's roles for a reason. And I think that's one of the things where, like, I agree with you. Maybe why LeBron didn't have the great coaches was because he wanted to control everything. And a great coach would challenge you.
A coach with a Popovich, Phil Jackson. You
ain't telling him nothing.
Yeah, they have their own resume. You're not going to tell them that, oh, we're running this offense.
And if that's the case, if LeBron ran from having a coach like that, that's his problem, because I feel like there's a role for a reason.
I saw a video of him. I think it was with Darvin Ham. This dude took the clipboard and he's like,
yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like, can you imagine being at work and like, you know what I mean? And whatever, if you're working a 9 to 5, your boss is in the middle of a meeting and he's drawing up what we need to do, and you say you take the Sharpie out, whatever, the freaking the marker out of his hand, and then you start racing what and draw your plan up, like.
Correct.
Bro, that doesn't work in the real world. So I think the average people look at that like, yo, what are you doing?
To me, it's like, that shows that this person can be the coach, and you need to trust your coach.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know how that works, but I feel like that's one of what's happening in the league right now, where there is no there's no roles.
Yeah, the hierarchy is not being respected.
It's not being respected. And we talked about how, why do I think, like, Michael Jordan's team was a team, right?
Yeah, because you guys marched to the same beat.
No, and also you built the team based on a game plan on how you want to play.
Yeah, that's the same. You all the same beat.
So like the Bulls would build like, okay, look, Michael's our scorer. Okay, Michael's gonna score. Okay, we have a rebounder. We have somebody that's here to rebound. We have somebody like Pippen, who is more like a little bit of
he's like a utility knife.
Exactly. He could do a little bit of everything. If Michael's on the bench for a little bit, he could take the load of scoring. He could play the defend role. But there was Michael is the scorer here, okay? That's I think that kind of thing is the same thing with the Warriors that I see. There's a defined role for everybody.
Yeah, they do.
With LeBron teams, there is no role defined. LeBron is going to do a little bit of everything for everybody, and then everybody else falls into where you fall in.
Yeah, basically,
which leaves the team on limbo.
Basically, if you're like a Kevin Love, he went from averaging 26 and 12.
Yeah,
he kind of became into like a guy who stood in the corner.
Exactly. So it's like that. Yeah, that makes it seem LeBron's doing everything, but it creates a bad team. The team doesn't function.
What happens is when Bron is hurt or he's out for whatever reason, these guys are just used to like I just stand.
That's why it's like, oh, Bron sits down and it just doesn't look right.
Yeah, because they
there's not a defined role.
The whole system around him.
Exactly.
But in reality, what you should do is like almost like the Warriors, where you have a system that self-runs itself.
Exactly.
Everybody's doing certain cuts. Everyone's doing certain motions and movement. Certain screens are being set always, whether he's on the floor or not.
It's very simple. The players for a Michael Jordan team they know what they need to do to make they know exactly what they need to do every game.
Yeah.
They're not expected to do nothing else than what their role is. What happens? That player goes, all right, so I'm going to do this and we're going to win. Like, that's all that I'm going to be praised for doing this, right? Like, they feel part of the team. They feel like the Warriors. They know Draymond Green. He knows, like, yo, I'm not scoring, but I have my role here, and it's very important.
Yeah.
With LeBron James teams, there's just LeBron is going to pass, he's going to score, he's going to rebound. How do the other teams buy into this? How do they feel like they have a part in this? How? If he's doing everything. And to me, that's the problem with not having your role defined in the team. Like to me, what team do you think is better? Even though LeBron James teams have all these big names, right? But what team do you think is better? The Bulls or they say the Miami Heat?
The Miami Heat team?
Yeah.
I'm obviously taking the Bulls.
Let's put this, right? Let's take LeBron out of Miami, right? Let's take LeBron out of Miami.
Put Jordan in instead?
No. Not even. Let's just take both of them out. Let's take the best player out of both teams. We're going to take LeBron out of Miami. We're going to take Jordan out of the Bulls. The Bulls are spanking the Heat. Even though the Heat have Dwayne Wade.
It depends which way you're talking about. If it's that,
No.
If it's 06 Wade, no. You talking about 06 Wade and Bosh?
That's different. That's different. But I'm talking about, like,
I don't know.
2010 Dwayne Wade, after all the injuries and all that stuff, when the team was created. I'm picking the Bulls to win against that Miami team without LeBron.
I mean, the thing is, that's an interesting.
Because the team is built right. The team is built correctly.
Jordan's team's built correctly.
It's the same thing, like.
But the thing is, like, now that Bron is out there, now Wade could be Wade.
That is 100% true. But the team is built wrong. The Miami Heat team is built wrong because it's built around, like we just said, it's built around one player. So you take that player out, and the team becomes uneven. It's not a realistic, well-balanced team. Michael Jordan had a well-balanced team all the time. To me, that's how I look at it. Like,
that's an interesting conversation. Honestly, you might disagree. I might be leaning to Miami.
I don't.
If you take them both out,
look. If you look at it, if it comes down to a game 7, Dwayne Wade to me is gonna make a difference there.
Just because, I like Scotty.
Like I said, the clutch part, I think Dwayne Wade has the edge there. But just look at what happened when Jordan left the Bulls. The Bulls were still a great team.
But people forget, they were good for that season. But what happened the following season? They were bad. So bad that they begged him to come back. They were 30 before Jordan came back in that 95 season. They were 34. I think they had 34 wins. 34 and 31, I think they were.
Yeah,
and Jordan came for the last 17 games and they won, I think, 15-2 or something like that. Like, I think they were like 50. Yeah, they went on a crazy run. And then they went to the conference finals. Yeah,
but still, to lose your best player and win all those wins, like, it shows. Like, they were a great built team.
No, but you're talking about a series. You're talking about, like, you're not talking about like a season. You're talking about like a head to head.
Yeah, but even then, like, fine. Like I said, Dwayne Wade is gonna make a difference because of his clutchness. Like, he's gonna take over the game. So that might give it to you in the playoffs.
I'm assuming if you take LeBron out, right?
Yeah.
Spo is gonna and the thing is, we've seen Spo with like nothing.
Yeah. So Miami is still a great team without LeBron.
Spo with nothing is dangerous. Yeah. So now you have Spo with a good D Wade and a good Bosh.
But this is the thing too.
He can mix up
another thing that people forget. Like, oh, Miami was terrible after LeBron left. Yeah, Bosh left too. Bosh got hurt.
Everybody got hurt.
Like Bosh didn't, like, the minute LeBron left, Bosh didn't play the next season.
It's the same thing with Cleveland when LeBron left. People said that, when LeBron left Cleveland the first time, they fell apart. I'm like, okay, LeBron left. Yeah. He took Ilgauskas with him. Shaq left. Yeah. I know Gooden was already gone. Yeah. Who else left? Gibson stayed. Mo Williams got hurt. They got Baron Davis, but Baron Davis was hurt like the whole time. And then I think they got Jameson the year before with LeBron, but then Jameson stayed and he got hurt.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of injuries. Some people left. I think Bergeron was hurt for like most of the season.
Correct.
So I'm like, yeah, they were trash, but that's because like
exactly
that wasn't the same team that was there the year before.
But I still think that the way the teams were built was better back then. Because right now, like I said, we're living this.
Well, I think there's a combination. So I think
because people go automatically, you have 3 great stars, you're a good team. That is not true at all.
Well, there's a combination. So it's like the way it's built, but people's roles. It's not.
That's my whole point. Like the roles have to match.
Yeah,
the skills have to match.
But if you remove some of these guys and these guys, because it's the NBA, all of these guys are freaking talented.
Yeah.
If you tell me all I gotta do is stand in the corner, I'm gonna be programmed to do that.
Exactly.
Now all of a sudden I gotta do more. I might not be ready. But if from the beginning of the season you tell me
the roles are defined,
these are my defined.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. If you take LeBron out, like they still had some players.
Correct.
So like if the beginning of the season is like, all right, take Bron and Jordan out. You know, like if we did the roles reverse, right? Yeah. All right, put LeBron on the Bulls.
You can't do that. You're saying that you're talking about the greatest player ever.
Yeah,
you put LeBron.
I'm just saying. No, I'm saying switch those two teams.
Yeah, no, it's not even close.
You know what I'm saying? You put Wade and Jordan together.
Yeah. Well, they ain't winning 3. I think they win.
I think they win.
I don't think they win.
Because I think Jordan can do something LeBron. See, the problem with Wade,
Dwayne Wade and Jordan don't mix as well.
I think they would. The thing with Jordan is, right? The thing with Bron, for you to work with Bron, you have to downgrade yourself.
Exactly.
Jordan is such a good scorer without the ball.
Yeah.
That he can let you elevate yourself. If you look at the Olympics, when they won the Olympics in '92, Jordan wasn't the leading scorer.
No. Yeah.
Jordan had a consistent mid-range jumper. Can come off screens.
And that's what I mean.
Do all these things without the rock. He don't need to bring up the ball and hold the ball and make the plays.
Yeah.
So
Jordan can do everything LeBron can do.
Yeah, he doesn't need to take away from you to make himself great.
But this is my point. That's why I think the teams were built correctly. There was a structure to the team.
Do you think Scottie Pippen, who's not a killer like that, right?
Yeah.
And then you put LeBron and then you put Dennis Rodman, you think that team's gonna work? You got no shooters.
No, that's what I mean. It is
that team would fold. That's what I'm saying. So if you switch those two, and LeBron in that Miami team, he had like Battier who could shoot. Yeah. He had Miller. They had a bunch of guys that can shoot.
Exactly. But those players also took advantage of being with LeBron because they were shooters, so they know.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's what I mean. Those roles are like clear right there. But what about everybody else? Like. You see what I'm saying?
I think if Jordan plays with Chris Bosh, I think Chris Bosh still is Chris Bosh.
I look.
I don't think he has to downgrade himself.
I think scoring wise, anybody that plays with Jordan has to downgrade themselves.
I don't think so.
Look at what happened. What happened when Jordan left Pippen?
Pippen's numbers went up like 1 point.
No.
Pippen averaged 22 the most his career was, and it was the year Jordan left. He averaged like 21 the year before.
Well, how much did Pippen average in the first 3?
Like Pippen's numbers went up from like 6 points up to when he was playing with Jordan. It went up from like 6 points to like 20 something, like 21 or something like
that. Pippen, like I said, I don't know where
I'll look it up. I'll pull it up for you.
I've looked it up. What was the most that Pippen averaged?
Like 22 with the year
with
Jordan left.
No, with Jordan.
Like 21.
Pippen still averaged 21.
I think Pippen was a 20-point scorer.
With Jordan, I don't think he was 20. I don't think he reached the 20 points with Jordan.
I'll look it up for you.
Yeah, because I think that part right there. I think he was like 15 or something.
Nah, man. Pippen's numbers peaked with Jordan. He became an all-star with Jordan. He came into the league.
No, but look up the difference between his numbers in the playoffs and in the regular season.
Listen,
and we could take our time. I'll cut this part and I'll make it so it's not, But I just want to know that part right there.
He averaged in 91, 92, he averaged 21 with Jordan. And his highest season was 94 when Jordan was gone, and he's 22.
That's it?
Yeah, his points. Look it up. Look it right there. Look at the years. He averaged 21 in 91, 92. That's with Jordan. They won a chip. Yeah. And then go to 93, 94, and he averaged 22. His points number went up like at 1 point. That's his highest season was like 22. I looked it up like ages ago because people always like want to throw Pippen in there. So I always have my.
But when was the season that LeBron, that Jordan retired?
Jordan retired like 93 after they won the 93.
93.
So 93, 94 was Pippen's year without Jordan.
93, 94.
And then Jordan came back 95.
So in
the middle of 95, I think.
So 90.
So Jordan came back the season of 94, 95, but he came at the end of it. So what I'm saying is Pippen's numbers didn't like freaking jump like 7 points. Like his numbers went up like 1 point. And then when Jordan was 96 or 97, I think Pippen averaged 21 something, I think.
Yeah, so once Pippen, like 90, Pippen came in on 98, 97, 98. It started with 7, 14,
his 16, numbers elevated 17, with Jordan.
21, when was the first chip? 91?
91.
Yeah, so that's, right around there.
When he became an all-star, that's when they won and they never looked back.
Yeah. So actually, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. His increase, his biggest increase happened with Jordan.
That's true.
That's true. When Jordan left, he only had a 1 point increase. But when Jordan, like I said, he went from 6 to 21 points with Jordan.
Yeah, but that's still crazy though, because when Jordan was there, they won like they only downgraded like 3 games. They won when Jordan left that first year, I believe with Jordan they won like 53 games.
Yeah,
when Jordan left, they won 50 games still.
Yeah, but
3 games less.
But people always ignore what happened the year after that. They weren't that good the year after that.
But that first year still. I mean,
but you got to bring it. So without Jordan wasn't just that season. Without Jordan was the next season too.
Half of it or something like that.
Most of it. Jordan only played 17 games. It was like 80% of the season.
But still, losing Jordan and you still win almost the same amount of games. That means that's a good team.
Yeah, but the next year you guys were struggling. Yeah. And you begged him to come back.
No,
if you didn't need him, why you go like?
No. I'm not saying they don't need him. I'm just saying the team was still built correctly.
Oh, it is built correctly.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's a balanced built team. That's what I mean. Like the Phoenix Suns, that is a bad built team.
Yeah, because they have no defense.
Bad built team. The Lakers right now. You could say whatever you want. That is a bad built team.
No defense as well.
Terrible built team. So, like, that's what I mean by, like, just because you have names doesn't mean you have a better team. Like, right now, we're going to look, and we're going to say LeBron James lost because they're going to lose, with Luka Doncic on there. And it's going to be like, LeBron couldn't win with Luka.
That's going to be
that is going to be the narrative.
It's going to be the narrative.
Yeah, but to me,
I'm going to run with it, though.
To me, I'm like, that is a terrible built team. That is not a championship team at all.
Yeah, but he had a say on that because he said at first, I had no say, I didn't know. Yeah, and then Markieff Morris came out and said that is
complete bullshit. It's the same thing with Joker. Like Joker knew your coach was about to get traded.
Yeah, so I'm like
star players know.
I don't want to hear it because you want to, like I said, you want to play GM.
Look. Let's be honest. If they came to LeBron, hey, we're gonna make this trade. You think LeBron was gonna pick AD over Luka?
No, hell
no way.
He probably saw that AD's window was like getting smaller, and he probably, I mean, they weren't getting it done with him.
Yeah, it's over. Like
even though I don't blame AD, why they couldn't get it. I don't put it all on. I mean, he has some blame in terms of his injuries, but I think it's unfair to just throw it all on him.
I think no, I don't think it's all.
And that's what a lot of the fans were doing. They're like, oh, it's AD's fault.
No. I think AD's problem is his health. That's his problem.
That's his major problem.
And it's not nothing. I mean, he can't do anything about it, but that is his issue. Like I said, throughout the season, he's gonna be out so much that you're never gonna build a real chemistry because he's gonna be in and out of your lineup all the time. Yeah,
but do you think the shadiness behind the whole thing?
Again, I agree 100%.
The thing about Michael that I respect is that he told you to your face. Michael never wanted to trade anybody. What he would do is he would just bully you until you did what he needed you to do. He never believed in like just getting rid of this guy. Like I said, he would just he even said his thing. He's like, in the last dance, he's like, I may have pulled guys along when they didn't want to be pulled.
No. In that aspect, no argument.
But he said he did it because he wanted them to be a part of this. He's like, that's what he said. I wanted them to be a part of this winning. So I'm gonna have to get on you.
Exactly. Like, that is.
So I respect that. He didn't give up on his guy and say, yo, just get rid of him.
That again, and in that aspect, I prefer Michael's style of leadership.
Yeah. Even though I might get into a couple fist fights with him, I'd rather him.
Me personally, like I said, now I will say this. I would definitely punch Mike in the face.
I would definitely punch him in the face.
Yeah, like.
But I'd rather it be like.
But Mike will respect you after that. Yeah. Mike ain't gonna be like, yo,
get rid of him.
Get rid of him now. Like now you have to get rid of him. Mike is gonna be like, all right, cool. You had the balls to punch me. Now you're gonna have to deal with me every day, or But
I'd rather that tension.
Me myself, I am that type of person.
I respect that more.
Yes.
I'd rather you tell me up front I ain't doing it.
Yes.
And us have our argument and fight than you behind closed doors talking shit behind me, playing with me and shit like that. Like
that, I 100% I respect more Kobe style and Jordan style.
Yeah, up front. Like this is what it is.
Like Kobe will go out there and like, you guys are trash to his own teammates.
Yeah.
Like,
well, the thing is like with Bron, you don't know what he's thinking. You don't know if you're on the block.
Aggressive.
You don't know if you're on the trading block. Yeah. Like he's dancing and giving you high fives and like when he wants you out. You know what I mean? Like you saw that when D-Lo had a good game and he's out there like D-Lo's like doing like whatever, talking to the reporter, and then he comes out and gives D-Lo all these fives. Yeah. And then like 2 weeks later, D-Lo's traded.
This is why he's not number one.
But like
again, we were talking about it. There's a difference when it comes to the championship levels. Like LeBron is skilled and has a great talent in the physically. He was just God-given, like they always say, God-given talent. He was born like this, right? And then he's like in that mid-level tier of competitive, winning intangibles. He's like mid-level to me. I put Kyrie and like KD, maybe not Kyrie because he is physically, challenged. But like KD, I put KD at a high level talent, high level skill.
Yeah, he is.
But winning intangibles, he's at that lower level. He's not up there.
Yeah, I can't put. I mean, after Phoenix, Brooklyn was bad, but after Phoenix, I can't put him in my top 20.
No way.
I can't.
No,
I'm sorry.
There's too many. I put Dwayne Wade over KD.
Oh, easily. Easily.
Championship, and people, I'm sure people are going to be like, what? No fucking way. I know they're going to go.
Wade has more quality championships than
it's just he's going to die. He's going to die at winning time. He is going to die to win. I feel like KD, a little bit less LeBron, but they're kind of just like cool with it. Like, I just don't see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just think,
and I see that growing in the league. It's growing. There's a lot of talent, a lot of great talent coming into the league, a lot of skill, a lot of big people shooting and dribbling. But what are you gonna do about winning?
I think there's a lot of skills not being done. Yeah, you got your big man who can shoot threes, but he can't post. He can't post for his life. He don't have a drop step. He don't have anything on the block. Like
people forgot how good a post game is. What it does for your team. To be able to throw it to somebody, and then that person could either score, has moves to score off the post, or pass it out when they collapse on you. What that does, people forgotten that. To the point where I'm a short guy. I play and I post up even taller people, and I just sit in the post, dish out or score, and it kills the kids because they don't know, they have no idea what to do with a post player. It's crazy.
Yeah, like if you think of like Hakeem Olajuwon, that level of fucking post moves.
Right now in the league, a post player will fucking destroy every big man there is.
That's what I'm saying. I think it was you I sent it to. I said LeBron right now is playing post. You think he would have survived at the 4 versus like that era when there was Dirk, KG, Tim Duncan. You had Amari Stoudemire. You had Zebo, Rasheed Wallace. I can keep going, man.
Yeah, LeBron would have been doing the same thing KD was doing. Get me out of this position.
Yeah, get me out. No, you mean AD.
My bad, yeah, AD. he would have been. This is too physical for me. Get me out of here.
I want to relay the three.
Yeah, they would have not. It is just no way.
I'm like, there was
LeBron
a point.
Would get killed.
There was a point in time where that power forward center position, like you had to have. Everybody had a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you even think back, you think about like guys like David Lee, David West.
Yeah.
Man, like you think of Brad Miller, Chris Webber. Like you could just keep going to all these names of guys like if you. Aldridge.
Yep.
Like dudes that get you on the block. Like everybody had a dude. Like we used to have Al Jefferson.
Yeah. That
a dude that was a killer on the post.
People don't even practice that. They don't know what that is. I like play with kids nowadays, and I'm like, it's either they're driving or shooting threes. There's nothing. They don't know what to do on the post. Back to the basket, no idea.
So I'm like when the people say it's more skilled, I'm like I don't think this. I don't agree that it's more skill. I think the skills set has changed, but it's like it's shifted. More of these guys
not necessarily better. That's what people
yeah. It's not necessarily like, and there's a lot of defensive skills that you don't see today. I mean, like that you saw back then. Like, you know, your bigs a lot of the times back then were your best defenders.
Yeah,
like Tim Duncan was like a really good defender. Like, Shaq was a pretty good defender. Like a lot of like you saw back then. Like there was a lot of things that bigs did. They had like a defined role that they had to do. You had to rim protect, you had to rebound, you had to like, you know what I mean, be a good post player. Like now you're big in the corner.
And that's what I mean by like the league is so focused on skill that is missing everything else.
Yeah, but the question is skill just shooting more threes? Like is that what was considered skills?
Well, this is what they consider skill, right? This is what they're saying is skillful, right? Like they see Kevin Durant, 7 feet tall, could dribble, could shoot. That's where they're going, oh, well, he's more skilled than...
Yeah, but he's never made a defensive team, so where's his defensive skill?
And he's not really imagine KD playing Tim Duncan in the post.
Tim Duncan would fry him.
It's not even close. It's not even close.
Tim Duncan would absolutely
fry him. That is the skill that they're talking about in this era.
So you dribble a little bit better and you can shoot better. So that's the only skill an NBA player has. So I guess Rodman had no skills.
They would, like to people, Rodman was not a skill player.
Yeah, then why do they bring him up when we have a debate like when we have a debate argument and they go, oh, Jordan had Dennis Rodman, but according to you guys, Rodman has no skills.
To me, and this is what I always say, like that the greatest built team is Michael Jordan's team. Like the how they build that team, I've never seen a team as complete as that team.
I think the leadership of it.
You have to build the team. You need the leadership, which is Jordan. Like he's set the tone. So when I say that, I don't mean like. To build the team, you need the player.
I think it's more than build. I think the leadership, everything in there.
They need to follow that.
Because there needs to be, like we said earlier, a hierarchy.
Yeah.
Like Phil was the head of the snake. He's the coach. Yes. He made the system.
Yes.
Jordan, he believed in the system.
Correct.
So he fought anyone
implemented the system.
Yeah, but he fought anyone who wasn't with it.
Same thing that Kobe did.
Yeah. If you ain't with it, I'm gonna come after you.
Exactly.
And when your star is doing that, like you're a guy off the bench, what are you gonna say? Like, no, like get out of here. Who are you? Like I'm the star of the team.
Tim Duncan.
Yeah, Tim Duncan followed the system.
There was a hierarchy too. He respected.
Yeah, he never tried to challenge Pop.
And this is why, like the Celtics have it right now, which I'm hoping we do it.
They respect Mazzulla. Mazzulla be saying some wild stuff, and they let him go with it.
They just like, hey, listen, that's our coach.
I like Mazzulla.
I fucking love Mazzulla.
He's young too.
Yeah,
so we're gonna have him for a while. Hopefully they don't.
The mentality he has, I like. I think coaches. Darvin Ham has a good mentality. Who was the Ime Udoka?
I like Ime.
I fucking love you.
I wish we would have kept them both, man. But nah, obviously it wouldn't have worked. I mean, Mazzulla needed a head job.
Mazzulla's great. Mazzulla's great, but I think with Ime we still won. We still win.
No, yeah, with Ime we would have won a chip. I think with Ime we would have won the year after.
That's what I'm saying. We would have. I think this would have been a 3P. Right now, we were talking about 3P right now.
We would be going for the 3P.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we would probably. We definitely would have 2 chips.
Yeah.
But that Miami, we wouldn't have lost to Miami.
But Coach Poe, that he has great coach. What happens in that organization? Great players or not, they're there. They're fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think Miami's a tricky one because
it's Pat too.
But that's the thing. Like Pat and Spo are the leaders. So you have to. Thing is, like you have someone like Jimmy, who doesn't want to fall in line.
I don't think that either.
I think so too.
I think he didn't want to fall in line. I think
he wanted his money.
No, he wanted his money. That's true. But he also said, "I need players," and they didn't. That I will give that to Jimmy. Miami did not give him.
The thing is,
he kept saying, "Yo, I need."
That's the thing. Jimmy, when he was in Minnesota, he had players. They were soft. Who are you gonna bring in there? There's a dog that's gonna want to be 30% body fat. That's gonna want to like follow a regimen like that.
Jimmy was not the leader in Minnesota. He wasn't the organization saw.
Yeah, but
Cat as the.
I get that, but I'm saying he had it in another spot where he had all the talent.
Yeah, but he's not the. Who do you think at that time who should have been the leader of that team?
What do you mean in Minnesota?
When Jimmy was in Minnesota with Cat.
Well, at the time, Cat was considered the best player on the team. On Wiggins,
who's the leader? Who should have been the leader?
I mean, it should have been Cat, and he should have been the dog of it, but he doesn't have the ability to it.
I think Jimmy should have been given that role there. Even though he's not the most talented player, he's the leader of the team.
I mean, what he did wasn't very leader-like.
Well, the teams told him no. The team said, this is the problem with Jimmy. He's coming from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? He knows how much he brings to winning, and teams didn't want to pay him.
Yeah, but the point that I'm trying to make is that, all right, who were they supposed to bring to you that was a dog that's going to be able to handle all of this shit? But I mean, LeBron complained about it.
Correct. Well, it's not about...
And LeBron is known to be like this freaking workout machine.
Yeah.
And he hated being like 3% body fat, have to be in this shape, have to live this lifestyle.
But let's be fair. Do you think that Miami team, had talent like that to win?
No.
So what does he want?
But that's the thing is, like, what do you want?
Just wait?
But if they don't have somebody on, like, there was guys that like Lillard wanted to go to Miami.
Well, how come they didn't?
They could. Do you think Lillard would have helped them win? Right, like seeing him in Milwaukee.
No.
Okay, so they dodged the bullet there. Who else we had?
What about KD? You think KD with Jimmy is not a better team at least?
I'm watching him with Beal and Booker miss the playoffs.
Yeah, but again, those are three players that are the same way.
Honestly, I don't think he would have done shit with KD.
I think they were better off. Depending on who they have to give up.
You the amount of players they probably have to give.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they're able to keep Bam, they're able to keep Bam.
Bro, they're gonna need me and you to fill the roster.
Well, I don't know.
If you keep him Bam,
I just think that Jimmy gave him everything, and they didn't give him help. So what is he? So you're not gonna give me help, and you're not gonna pay me. You got to choose one. As a team, you got to choose one.
The thing is, it's a tricky situation where he doesn't. His numbers yearly doesn't call for it.
To be honest, I don't care.
Because I mean, if that was your business, you would care.
This is what my business is in. With this guy, no matter what he does, we're making it to the playoffs, and when we get to the playoffs, we're in it.
Yeah, but he got hurt, they think they went out in the first round.
That's two seasons. 2 seasons he was not at the end.
But he made it to 2 finals. All right,
overachieved
for 2 seasons, and then what else he did the other years?
But again,
and he's not making any All NBAs. He's not making any All Stars.
But
you know what I mean? He's a great. He's an overachiever, but he's not at that top tier level with these other players.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's at that. But if you give him help, like, why do you think the Warriors to me are scary? It's just because they added him. You take him out of that team.
Yeah, but
the Warriors are not even in the playoffs right now. You take Jimmy out of the.
No, I know what he brings.
That's what I'm saying.
But the thing is, but he's not. The Warriors aren't gonna break the bank on him.
No, and they paid him what he wanted, even though they didn't break the bank. Because I don't think Jimmy's saying, yo, pay me as the top guy. But if you're not going to have a top guy here, you better pay me as one. And he waited 3 years for them to do something and bring in somebody. And they didn't. So at that point, I don't know, man. I'm a Miami. I am a Celtics fan and a Miami Heat fan to this day. Even though right now the Heat suck, Those are my two teams, and I never changed. Those are always before LeBron got there. The Heat and the Celtics are my team.
I mean, the only people that
but I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, what is Miami gonna do now?
They're gonna have to do what they've been doing to rebuild.
And then you need stars, man. Like they had Dwayne Wade. They brought help for him.
Yeah, but Shaq, they had pieces to trade for Shaq. Bron couldn't win, so he just plotted to go over there. And same thing with Bosh.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, they have a strict regimen of how they run shit.
But
not a lot of players want to go there. A lot of these guys want to just party and
then that goes back to they have to adjust. The league, you have to at least a little bit, at least Miami a little bit. Because if you can't bring in stars, that's also your fault. Like, you have to do something. Like,
I'll be honest, I like the way they do things.
I like the way they do things.
You're getting paid millions of dollars, man. Like,
I like
get you come in shape, do your job.
I like the way they do things, but you have to have a little bit of a.
I mean, say what you gotta say, man. Like, say just stop being around. The players are soft, so you need the league to. You need that organization to get softer.
No. That is true. That you have to adjust. Yeah, you have to adjust to keep them. But like, look, I think it's a bad look on Miami Heat to let Dwayne Wade walk for $3 million, I think it was.
I mean, they had that.
That is nuts.
That might have been something personal with Pat and
he
Wade.
didn't want to get paid. Dwayne Wade left money on the table so you could do your thing and bring all the other players. So LeBron James leaves, you pay Bosh, and then you don't pay Dwayne Wade. That is bad business for your organization because that's going to tell team players, I can't trust you. What did the Lakers do with Kobe? They pay Kobe. That's also key of the organization. Kobe at the end wasn't worth this contract. They paid up to him. Either way, he gave you everything. So at the end, you have to look out for your player.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
You can't. They let Dwayne Wade walk for nothing.
Look at Pat Riley's resume, man. This man has won a chip in every decade for the last 7 decades or whatever.
Yeah, but
as a player, in college, as an NBA player, as a freaking coach, as a GM,
great.
He's been to the finals and won a chip. Like,
great.
The guy knows everything about winning, man. I'm not gonna doubt his.
No, but I'll tell you this: they ain't doing nothing with that.
Not now, obviously.
He's literally gonna have to go. Pat literally gonna have to go because they can't keep. Players are not gonna go there because of the strictness. It has to, and I know it's bad, and it shouldn't be this way. But since we got to this point,
then you build like OKC.
But that's the thing.
Nobody wants to go to OKC.
But this is the thing. The players there are gonna get the money. And if you don't ease up, they're going to leave. That's what's going to happen. Because once you have all this money, it's like we were talking about, these players come in, Miami's going to have built, right? And then I assume they're going to have to pay these players because now they're going to leave. And Pat is not about paying nobody.
I think Pat...
He's not about paying nobody. That's the thing.
I think if he had the right star, I think he pays him. I think if he had the right star that was, like I said, making all NBA teams, all-star teams, that he's doing the right things, I think he pays him.
I think
when it comes to Jimmy's has an injury history.
I don't think I think
that's what it came down to.
2 years, and that's it. And he was there with bad teams. I don't think.
Yeah, but even those seasons where they went far, like during the season, he got hurt like a lot. Jimmy, like, that's one of the reasons why he doesn't make any of these things. Is he gets hurt a lot during the season.
I think Jimmy doesn't try.
Like, he doesn't try. Like, why would you want to pay a guy? That's another thing. He doesn't.
Well, it's not okay. Trying is I think that's disrespectful to say he doesn't try in the regular season. I just don't think Jimmy's a first option player, and Miami want him to be the first option. That's my thing. I think Jimmy is a great 2 option, great 3 option. I don't think Jimmy's a number 1 option in a championship team. So to him, it's like, all right, well, you guys, I can't kill myself in the regular season, and then I'm going to kill myself in the off season. It's not. I mean, Jimmy's playing 40-something. Like, in the playoff run, the Miami, the minutes he was playing, it was crazy. The guy was dying after every game because he had to do everything because they had nothing. So to me, I kind of been like, Jimmy's like, okay, so I'm going to bust my ass. Where's my help? I need help. And you're not going to give it to me and not going to pay me. What am I supposed to do?
I think it comes down to who's the help. Like if there was a clear-cut guy they could have gotten and they didn't get him, I don't think there was anybody they could have gotten.
But I think it's one of the reasons because we're looking at what these players are doing. They're calling their own shots and demanding where they want to go.
Yeah, but every time a player has called where they want to go, Miami's been on the list.
Yeah, but what happens?
They don't have the pieces to get him, though. That's the thing. Like, Kyrie said Miami was one of his destinations. I think, who else? KD said Miami was one.
Yeah.
Lillard said Miami was one.
And something always happens. And I think it comes down to Miami.
Yeah, nobody wants Tyler Hero. It was always a package deal around Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson. They're like, this is what you're going to give me? Like, nah.
Then you should have the cap space to just sign somebody.
But the thing is, like, these players are under contract. They're not like free agents. They're demanding trades while. So like
too.
As an organization, you got to give me something for me to send you Damian Lillard.
But
Tyler Hero's not enough.
True, but at the end of the day, it's Miami. Like it should count for something for players to want to go over there.
Yeah, but as free agents, right? Who were the big free agents that were out with it? Paul George, I think that was the biggest free agent this summer, and Klay Thompson.
Leave Paul George. I went.
But I'm just being.
I don't want Paul George in Miami. No.
I know, but I'm just saying I'm being realistic. Let's be realistic. Like who are free agents? They were like. You know, they didn't have a contract. They could have walked wherever. With DeMar DeRozan, he went to Sacramento.
I don't like them. I don't think
okay, all right. Paul George.
I don't think that was going to do anything.
All right, like I'm saying, Klay Thompson.
No, not when Klay Thompson's past his prime.
But that's what I'm saying. These are the big names, free agents. Like, what do you want them to do?
This is part of your organization. That's part of the organization. Everybody have to bring players in, and you have to say it in the time that he was there. And that was the time that they were going to do something. They didn't do anything. For whatever the reason is, as an organization, you have to figure it out.
The reality is they have a lot of guys that they built through like the G League or wherever the hell they got him.
Do you think Tyler Hero is like, I'm not trading him? Do you think he's one of those players?
He's always on the trading blocks. He's always on the deal. People just say they don't want him.
Oh, so then why did you pay him? Like, you have to figure it out as an organization. That's part of it.
Yeah, but then I don't think they're breaking the bank on Tyler Hero.
I don't know. I don't know exactly how much they pay him.
I don't know exactly, but I don't think it's like I think they pay him whatever he's worth, I guess.
Yeah,
but
I think Miami, when they have brought talent, they won because they have the organization to do it. They have the know-how. They have the between Pat and Spo, they have what it takes of knowing how to win. But you need the talent to do it.
Yeah, only Miami.
They haven't had the talent. Every time they had the talent, they win.
Listen, historically, the only free agents. I mean, LeBron actually got a sign and trade, but I guess you can count LeBron if you wanted to.
He chose to go there, so you
the only player that ever chose to go to Miami was LeBron and Bosh during that whole thing. After that, no one's ever chose to go to Miami ever.
What about O'Neal?
He got traded there,
but he chose to be traded to Miami. He was gonna get traded to wherever he wanted to get traded.
No, they traded. They took the best deal they could get.
I think Shaq said, I'm going to Miami.
I don't think so. We'd have to go back in time and see what was said. But I think
people that are going to watch this on YouTube, let us know. But I think Shaq said, I want to go play with that Flash dude.
I mean, I'm sure Shaq was like, that's an option.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were gonna be like, oh, Shaq, where you want to go? That's where we're trading you. Like, I think they're like, let me see what the offers are, and the best offer is where we're sending you. And I think Miami sent a boatload of guys. Lamar Odom that ended up working well. Who else they sent over? I think it was Eddie Jones.
Yeah, Eddie Jones. Yeah.
They sent a bunch of dudes over there. I forget all the names, but they were able to put a bunch of pieces to get them there.
Together.
But like that was like a trade. Like I said, I don't think Shaq said I need to go to Miami. I don't think back then it wasn't. Like, why do you think it was so rare when like we saw like people now forcing their way? Like Shaq didn't force his way to Miami.
I don't know. I think they were gonna make a trade, and I like I said, I think Shaq said I'm going to Miami. We're gonna have to look that up.
I think Shaq. I mean, I'm not saying that Shaq didn't say I like Miami. I'm saying Shaq probably had a list of teams like I'll go here, I'll go here, I'll go there.
Shaq had to like the team that he was going to. If he wasn't fucking with the team, or if that team didn't have a chance of...
Shaq was on contract. He didn't have a no-trade clause. I don't think. I don't think he... If I'm trading you, I'm trading you where I'm trading you.
Yeah, but the Lakers have been good when it comes to that. The Lakers always take care. I think Shaq got sent to a great to a great situation. I don't think the Lakers were like, this is the most we could. I don't think Miami was like, gave him the best deal, and that's why Shaq is there. We're gonna have to look this up.
We have to look it up. But I think that was an option of Shaq, but I don't think that was, I need to go here or else forget it. Like I think he was going there regardless. Like,
I don't think it was like that either. Like, if Miami, nothing. I think he put some teams on there, and whoever out of those teams that Shaq picked, whoever the Lakers could get that team, get the most for, that's where he was going. But I don't think Shaq was usually going to go like, send me to a bad team or like a team that has no chance. I don't think that was how it went down. Shaq was too big of a. I mean, Shaq made them choose. Wasn't that the thing? Shaq made them like.
Kobe made them.
Oh, Kobe.
Kobe said. I think Kobe was going to become a free agent. Kobe was going to go to the Bulls. Kobe wanted to go to the Bulls, and he said it's me or him, and if you don't pick, I'm gonna just leave myself and go to the Bulls.
Gotcha.
So they wanted to keep Kobe, so they got rid of Shaq,
which was the right move.
So, and then, but like think about Miami. You got Pat Riley, 3% body fat. Shaq is known for partying and coming out of shape. Why would you think he would want to go over there?
I think he wanted to win a championship, and he saw that was a good opportunity.
Yeah, but they had the lifestyle that Pat Riley wanted was not the lifestyle he was living. But it was one of the reasons why Kobe wanted him out of there.
Correct, and I think Shaq went to Miami and still did what he wanted. I didn't think Shaq went to Miami and was like,
bro, Shaq was probably in his best shape when he was in Miami. You ever see those pictures of him when he was on the Heat? Like he looked like in way better shape there.
No, compared to like when he was in the year prior in Lakers, and then when he went to Miami, yes,
they had him running over.
They definitely slimmed down, but I think it wasn't because I don't think you could control Shaq. I don't think nobody could control Shaq. I think Shaq was like, I am beating Kobe to a first chip. So I think that's the motivation for Shaq. It was like, you chose Kobe over me, and y'all gonna pay, and he made the pay. That's what I think that was.
Yeah, but they ended up beating him though.
What do you mean?
They got 2 chips after that. 2-1.
Yeah, but Shaq was out. Shaq was already old and like couldn't do anything about it. It's like, win.
but that was a better investment. You went with the younger guy.
Like I said, you couldn't trade. You couldn't keep Shaq and let Kobe go. Kobe's younger. That's a no brainer. Like that's not even like if they would have chose Shaq, it would be crazy. Shaq was how old already? Like he's past
35, 36 maybe.
Exactly.
35. I would guess like 35, 34.
Yeah, Shaq was way over his prime. Like there's no way you're going to keep let go of Kobe. So like I said, we're going to have to look it up, but I think Shaq was like, I am going to a team where I know I'm going to compete with the Lakers. Or I'm going to not compete with the Lakers because when Shaq left, the Lakers were in shambles. But something that's going to at least, be competitive. I think that was Shaq's request. In my opinion, I think that's
I think they were a team on the list, but I don't think Shaq had a say where the hell he. I think he can voice his opinion, but
correct.
I think they took I think they took the best deal they could get. That's what I think. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I think the Lakers said these guys have a lot of pieces we like. We'll take them. Shaq, whatever. They got Wade. You guys figure it out over there.
Gotcha. What about what's next? Let's go to the East. I mean, we know we both picking Boston, but what about the Cavs? What about the Bucks?
The Bucks. That's another team like that. Man,
this is what I mean. But I keep going back to like leadership at the top is very fucking important because you can't let these players choose. Like I don't know what happened in Milwaukee. I don't know who is in charge there. But the moves that some of these organizations that are like up there winning, they're like just coming off of championships, and then you see some of the decisions. I don't care if it's Giannis asking for these things.
Is Giannis asking for these things?
Like that's what I mean. But like no.
But listen,
no.
Hey, let's look at the Celtics. Do you think Jason Tatum and Brown are in freaking Brad Stevens' office telling him, "Player, we need this guy, we need that guy"?
No, because I don't think it's known it's not gonna work.
Yeah. So like the teams that are doing all these good moves,
and also
their players are shutting up and doing their thing. They're focusing on the floor.
Yeah.
This is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And you got these players that they want control of the GMs and what's going on.
And that's
And that's the thing. And on paper, you say, oh, Giannis and Damian Lillard, oh, that's going to work.
I knew it wasn't going to work.
And then you start thinking like, damn, you lose Drew Holiday, a guy who's a stopper.
Crazy.
A guy who can make big shots. And I mean, like, the point difference wasn't that. Like, I think when I looked at it, I think Drew Holiday was around like 18, 20 points. I think somewhere around there.
I think it was like 18.
I think it was like somewhere around there. I mean, Lillard's going to give you around 26, 27. But then the defense, that's where it makes it up.
Exactly. It's just weird to me that you see these great teams do these stupid things.
It's funny. They haven't
make no sense.
They haven't, like, after they got rid of Holiday, they haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I think they've lost in the first round last year. So I mean, this is their second year together, right?
Yeah.
So damn, like, you know what I mean? Like, they got rid of Holiday because Giannis got hurt.
Yeah.
And they were mad that Holiday couldn't get him past Miami.
It's crazy.
Which I'm like, that's not
that's not his
Holiday's
role.
fault. Yeah,
that's not his role.
That's not his role. He's not that type of. He's never been that player. So they get rid of him, bring in Lillard. Like, all right, Lillard can get us over Miami.
Yeah.
And they go lose to Indiana. The same round, first round. So I'm like, what are you gonna do this year? Now Lillard is freaking out with blood clots.
Yeah. I mean, he's coming back. Supposedly he's gonna play the playoffs, but
I hope he does. I mean,
but it's still not gonna do nothing.
The thing is the dynamic, right? So Giannis is a player that, even though he's not
dominant, he's ball dominant.
He is. He everything runs through Giannis.
Yeah, and Lillard needs the ball so he could be Damian Lillard.
Yeah, Lillard. So you can't put two guys that are ball dominant.
Yeah.
On the same team, because
correct.
Lillard is gonna be respectful to Giannis. He's gonna know that's Giannis' team, so he's gonna default.
Yeah.
But then who do you have? You don't have a Damian Lillard anymore.
Correct. That and Lillard's not even a good defensive player either.
Like that. So you basically have Drew Holiday with no defense.
And then another team, Philadelphia. Same thing. I think Philly's in the position they're in because of whoever's controlling the team has no idea what the fuck they're doing.
I think these obviously they're listening to it's the same thing. Who wanted Paul George? Embiid was going around. Remember when they were on TV and he was like, oh, maybe we like winking. Like people were saying like, oh, this should be like, isn't that like player tampering? Like he's like kind of like winking to Paul George when they were, I think it was during the playoffs. Yeah,
like I said, it's just weird because I don't like, people put these players that I'm like, why is Paul George like so high up on people's list of a good player?
Well, I mean, I don't, skill wise, Paul George is. No.
Again, we go back to the skills. Yeah, skills wise, he's supposed to be this guy, right? But I think Paul George is a maybe third option on a championship team, second max. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he was supposed to be a second, third option.
Yeah, but this is the problem. You're bringing in a second option that is injury prone to back up a first option that's also injury prone.
Yeah, that's where it didn't work out. They're both injury
like,
prone.
What did you got? Like I said, if I look at any player, if you give me 3 years and you're hurt for 3 years, to me, that is your resume, and you're never gonna change it because it doesn't get easier. You just get older. It doesn't, like, injuries don't just vanish. If you're a player that is injury prone, you're not going to get better with time passing by. It's like, I wouldn't pay much for Paul George. I wouldn't pay much for Embiid. I wouldn't pay much for AD. Like, none of these players are max players to me. Skill-wise, yes.
Yeah, I mean, ideally...
You have to play.
Ideally, if you bring him, everything is... If everybody's healthy...
This is the thing.
And you bring in Paul George as your second option, ideally it would work. But like you said earlier, they're both injury prone.
Part of team sports, this is part of it is the war, to make it there. Football, why there's only 15, 60 games, right? Because they know players are gonna get hurt because it's so physically demanding.
Tell me you're suggesting less games, man. Come on.
No. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying teams have to account for this. They have to know the players that you have. So if you're a team and you know Embiid is an injury-prone player, right? You can't base your whole team around this player. Not possible. No matter how skilled he is, you just can't do it. Same thing with Paul George. There is no history telling me that these guys are going to make it. There's literally none. Give me a season where these players are not hurt, or a playoff series that Paul George didn't go out. Look at the Clippers. Paul George is out. Look at OKC. Paul George is out. Look at any playoff series.
I don't think he was
Indiana
hurt.
was the only time he's been healthy.
No. I think OKC. I think he was healthy. OKC.
No, he
was almost
rotator cuff. He came back like he was doing great in the regular season. He was having great numbers. We were talking about MVP and all this stuff.
He was like the MVP.
It was regular season. Postseason came, rotator cuff, done. So it's like the only time he's ever gone through a season where he makes it to the playoffs was when he was in Indiana. After that, he's never had a good, healthy playoff run where he doesn't get hurt at some point.
No, there was one OKC year where they went to the conference finals. He had a good year. Yeah, but Kawhi was out. I think Kawhi was out.
But I think he ended up getting hurt at some point. Also.
I don't think that he got hurt.
Or Kawhi got hurt.
Kawhi got hurt. I think that was a year when I know they beat Gobert because I remember Terrence Mann had like 40.
I think that was a season where like him and they were like switching back and forth of who's out and who's in. Him and Kawhi. Like they were just one's out, one's in.
I know he had a good year during the Clippers, and they went to the conference finals for the first time.
Yeah, but to me, like I said, injuries are like I just wouldn't pay these players. Like AD is another player where like they pay him max contracts, and as a team owner,
I mean it's a gamble.
But I wouldn't take that gamble. Like I honestly wouldn't take that gamble because
the thing is like
look
hindsight.
Look what happened. Why did AD win that chip with LeBron? What happened?
Yeah, of course, a bubble. And then they basically
play less games. They play less games, and
it wasn't just less games. If you recall, the playoffs was in October,
so they had a break.
They had a massive break.
Exactly.
So it was basically 3 seasons in one.
So like, look, if the playoffs and the championship was decided like the minute the season started, I'm like, yeah, give me all these talented players.
But then the thing is like it's all a gamble because then you run the risk of like, if no one's gonna pay him, why wouldn't Boston go grab him?
Well, look, like I said, it depends on the team.
Like Porzingis grabbed.
It depends on the team, but Boston got him. But they're not depending on this guy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying.
You can't bring him in to be the number one. Like you just can't. Boston didn't do that.
Sometimes you make a move so somebody else can't make the move.
That's true too. That's also true too.
You kind of stomp the guy next to you because like I said, look at Porzingis. Porzingis was like an AD level threat in terms of injury. Like he's always hurt.
Yeah.
But a team like Boston is always getting into the finals. They're like, we can rest him. Yeah, we can rest him. Like we're already getting to the finals without him.
Exactly.
We rest his ass, and then when we get to the finals and we need him, all right, get your ass in here. That's what I'm saying. Like, can you imagine take out Porzingis and we put in AD and we say, AD, you rest up. We'll call you when we get to the finals.
Again, yes. Why? Because I don't need him.
Yeah. But I'm saying
it's a luxury.
What I'm saying is like some of these teams. Like if a good team did that, like they have no chance.
Yeah.
So sometimes they just gotta take it off the table.
Correct. To hurt the other team. That's the chess game that we play.
I'm saying it's all a gamble. Yeah, like if I'm just like nah, like I can't, not with this guy.
Yeah, but I don't think the Celtics. Let's say the Celtics didn't have Tatum, Brown, and the team they have.
No, obviously you can't.
I don't think they'll bring him in to be their cornerstone, and I don't think the Celtics would have paid him. I think we're smarter than that. I think we would have been like, no, he's injury prone. We're not paying him.
I mean, because
that's the thing. Like so AD, they're paying him max contracts all the time, which also limits you from getting help because you pay him so much. So you can't have a good bench or a good backup, so he doesn't have to play every game and doesn't have to play these crazy minutes. They don't have the ability to even get help because they're paying him so much.
Yeah, but some of these teams, let's be realistic. Some of these teams can't even get players to come over. Like
no.
Like I'm a Boston guy.
Yeah.
But like
we struggle
to get guys. So we built through the draft.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, you could pay somebody like that and just keep them around just until we find the right draft pick.
That's true too.
And then when we find the right draft pick, we kick them to the curb or whatever, or to give them a lesser role.
What about Cavs? Do you believe in the Cavs?
In the Cavs? No.
I don't believe in the Cavs either.
I think they have a good team. Donovan Mitchell, he's incredible when he,
I think Donovan Mitchell is Jimmy Butler. Great player. He can't be your number one option for a winning championship team.
He's yet to prove it. So, I mean, I just think they have a lot of talent. I just don't see it on them.
No, it's the same thing with OKC. Like we have two teams leading but it's not real. That's why I have a problem with this guy winning MVP.
Oh, SGA?
Yeah, I think that's not right. I don't think it. If you look at the numbers, and it's not like Denver is a scrub team. It's not there at the bottom of the barrel, and SGA has more help.
My problem with the MVP,
and they're in the same thing.
Like I have a problem with the MVP award. I feel like there's no standard for
there isn't.
What is MVP?
I think it's ridiculous that because a player has won it twice in a row, that's already they're holding that against you. Yeah. Like that.
Well, the thing is like they've done it before. Like if you think about it, LeBron and Jordan should have gotten way more MVPs than what they've gotten.
And that's the problem. You already started as president, and you can't change it.
Yeah, so you can't change that. Yeah. Because then now you're gonna say, oh, Joker has got 7, has 8 MVPs. Does that put him in that? But you're like, well, when Jordan played, he could have gotten another 5 of them, but like they stopped it.
Yeah, that's why to me all those, because we are playing through eras, and all these things change. Like that's why I don't like the numbers debate with people. To me, it's dumb because soon we're about to have players that are going to have crazy numbers, and it's based on the era that they're playing. It's not because they're actually great players.
But I mean,
they're going to have great numbers, though.
We had crazy numbers from Will Chamberlain.
Yeah, but
numbers that these guys would never touch.
And the era, same thing. It went through the era. And Will Chamberlain's era, he had the ability to put up those numbers. In Michael's era, you couldn't do that because the league adjusted, and he wasn't just the big, Chamberlain's not the biggest, fastest, bigger man dominating the league like that. Same thing that happened with Jordan. You couldn't, the league adjusted. Same thing that's happening now. Like right now, you're going to have a bunch of people with numbers, and we'll go back in a few years. We'll go back to like, you're not averaging fucking all these,
So are you commenting on the Joker? Because that's a topic that a lot of people talk. Like, does Joker become the best center of all time based on his numbers?
No.
I don't think he's even top 5.
No way.
I wouldn't put him in my top 5, not right now. I know some people might say that's a crazy take.
If you know basketball, it's not, because they're basing it on what he's doing in this era. Can he do that in the 90s? And we know the answer, which is no.
The 90s, the 2000s. He did that in the 2000s.
Yeah.
When you're playing, one night you got Tim Duncan, the next night you got KG, the next guy you got Chris Webber, then you got Dirk.
Correct.
And then every night you're covering somebody. You got freaking Zebo, you got Rasheed Wallace.
That's why the numbers game, the numbers debate, when you bring up LeBron's numbers, like is not real.
Well, my whole problem with that argument of like the numbers and judging who's like for example, like the center.
Yeah.
Or the power forward position.
Yeah.
My problem with that is that there is a defined role as a center.
Yes.
As a center, you're expected to be a rim protector.
Correct.
A rebounder.
Correct.
Post game. And you're the anchor of the defense.
Yes.
People funnel everything to you, and you get the stop.
Correct.
That's why when you look at like the defensive players of the years, they're typically a big man. It's typically a center, a power forward.
Yeah.
Those are typically your best defenders.
Even in this era.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
The Joker has never made a defensive team.
No. And
so by definition of the job of a center, I mean, I get that he gets all these assists, and you say, oh yeah, but it's like if I'm an engineer and you say, well, he's a better engineer than that guy because he's good at accounting.
Correct.
I'm like, accounting is not his job. That's the point guard's job to get all the assists.
Correct. So that is the whole thing with the numbers. Like, look at if you go by numbers, Jokic should be in the conversation for greatest ever.
Yeah, he should be in the conversation like greatest. I wouldn't say greatest ever. Greatest all around. Well, like all around offensively.
If you look at how old is Joker?
28 or 29 or something.
And he has 2 chips. He has
one chip.
One chip, and he has 2 MVPs. I think it is.
I think it might be 3, isn't it?
Or 3 MVPs. I think it's 2. But he had. Oh no, I think it's 3 MVPs.
I think it's 3.
Yeah, it's 3. So if you look at it,
he's 30.
Okay, so if you look at it, base it on what Jordan had done when he was 30. Base it on what all the greats had done from their beginning to how they were 30, numbers wise. He should be like, well, he's trending to be the GOAT, but we're not doing that because we know.
Well, the thing is, for all the things you want to give him credit, you're going to look at, as a big man, who is his competition?
That's my next point.
And you're going to say, oh, Joel Embiid, but Joel Embiid's always hurt.
Exactly.
And you're going to say, Joel Embiid plays him once a year because he never shows up to Denver.
Exactly.
And then you say Giannis. Oh, yeah, Giannis twice a year. So you play Joel once a year, Giannis maybe twice, and then that's it. AD, okay. AD's like really a power forward.
Exactly. And he's always hurt too.
He's always hurt. So it's like,
yeah.
Like, okay, so you don't have any real centers to challenge you. And you're not dominating in championships.
Correct. And we're going to see all this, like, I think Shaq mentioned it. Does LeBron longevity has anything to do with how softer the game is? So you're going to be able to play for longer.
I questioned his longevity.
With LeBron?
Yeah. And I was arguing with somebody, and I said, like, you guys say his longevity, he's playing greatest at the oldest.
Yeah.
I think Michael Jordan won an MVP at 36.
Longevity, I'm not talking about, like, I get what you mean. In that sense,
at an older age, he got an MVP, a championship.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
all defensive player. LeBron's last MVP was at like 28.
Correct. But that's not what I'm arguing is the total. Like, these players are gonna have like they're gonna at the end of their career, because they're playing longer, they're gonna be.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, if you want to, you got to make the argument consistent.
Correct.
So, like, who's a better scorer in your mind if you need a bucket?
Yeah.
Tracy McGrady or John Stockton?
Tracy McGrady.
John Stockton has more total points than Tracy McGrady.
But that's the thing. Like, people just go, they're basing. I saw the stat. The guy that played for the Spurs, the point guard, Tony Parker. He has way more points than Steph Curry in the playoffs. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even close. So what does that mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You open Pandora's box to bring up players that you would never consider.
That's why I don't like the numbers.
So, like, it has to be a factor of numbers, winning, competition.
Correct.
Pressure situation, clutch moments.
Yeah.
Like, so, and just invincibility in a sense of, like, Michael never, in a championship moment, he's never lost.
And that's the fear factor. That's another thing. These players, like, they put pressure on you without stepping on the court.
But think about it. When Scottie Pippen became
that number one option.
No. I don't know about when he became an all-star.
Yeah.
And Jordan played with him.
Yeah.
They only lost one playoff series.
That's crazy.
From 90 to 98.
Dominance.
Like, together.
Yeah.
One playoff series, and that's when Jordan came back from baseball.
Yeah. Dominance.
That's insane.
Yeah. So that's why, like I said, the numbers, I don't care what numbers say. I don't even care if LeBron was ever would have got. Look, this is how I feel about it. LeBron could have gotten 6 straight like Jordan. Still not better than Jordan.
Yeah, it's the Miami move that did it for me.
Exactly. Look, even if LeBron did it with the Cavs, like, I still don't put him over Jordan based on the eye test. Like, it doesn't, to me, I'm scared of Jordan. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't see, that's why I say it. It's based on the eye test. The eye test says Michael is better than LeBron in every way you look at it. And you could, even the numbers say the peak of both of them.
Yeah.
Jordan is still better.
If you look at the highs and you look at the lows, I mean, even Jordan at his low, he was still an all-star.
Yeah.
And LeBron at his low, you can say, was his first year. He wasn't an all-star.
Once Jordan figured out how to win, that's it. It was a wrap. It was over for everybody. Me and you had the conversation. I think the only team that we have this conversation. It's like, oh, the Warriors versus
I don't put
Jordan.
them in the same boat. I mean, you can't lose. 73 wins and you lose in the championship.
Exactly. Like I said, to me, the only team that I'm like, I don't know, and I know you're gonna pick Jordan still, is and it's just based. I know they had Kobe, whatever, but I think Jordan takes out Kobe in this conversation. nobody's guarding Shaq in 2001 to 2003. I don't care who you bring in. I don't care what you do. And I know you're going to tell me they swept Shaq. I think that was baby Shaq. I think that Shaq, not in his prime. Once Shaq got through those losses and he was like, for these 3 years, I am the most dominant player that's ever stepped on a court. That's the only team that I'm like, I don't know if they beat Jordan. And whatever Jordan you want to bring in, whatever version of Jordan you want to bring in, I think that team.
I mean, you can make that argument.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only argument there is. I'm not saying they're actually going to win.
I'm still taking Jordan, man.
I know, but what other team you bring in?
Huh?
That's the only team, right?
I mean, they didn't have anyone to stop Karl Malone. Jordan's still in there wreaking havoc.
Not the same. Not the same. The way the Bulls were constructed, everybody there is following up. There will be left with nobody.
What I'm saying is that the way that the Bulls played, if you watch like how Jordan was, they were sneaky. Like Jordan, like on your post move was getting steals.
Yeah, but like I said, I think when in that era for Shaq, there's nothing.
I'm still taking the Bulls, man.
I'm probably taking the Bulls too. But Shaq and Kobe, the second version of Mike, I don't know, man. I think they might do it, but that's the only team in the history of basketball. That's the only team.
I just say this, right? You can with Kobe, you can put Jordan and Pippen on him, right? Who the hell's covering Jordan on the other end? Derek Fisher? He's getting fried.
I think Kobe does a good job with Jordan.
Then who the hell's Derek Fisher covering? Scottie Pippen?
Yeah, that's where like a good balanced team.
Like I mean they did have Kerr, but
I just don't think, like I said, it's all solely based on what are you gonna do with Shaq? Because I know like, oh, Dennis Rodman gave Shaq. That's baby Shaq. Shaq to me, real Shaq is 21 to 23.
Well, real Shaq has lost. That's what I'm saying.
20. That three-peat. Who did they lose to? That's real Shaq.
Bro, so 2004, that wasn't real Shaq?
Shaq was fucking off. Shaq was not.
And then when he was in Miami, that wasn't a Shaq?
That was motivated Shaq to beat Kobe.
They lost the first time the first year he was there.
In Miami?
Yeah.
But like I said, to me.
What I'm saying is, what I'm trying to explain to you is, until like Pippen and Jordan in a championship moment has never lost.
That's true. That is 100%
Shaq has lost.
But not prime Shaq.
What do you mean? They first of all,
This is the problem with Shaq. This is what happened with Shaq was, and he said it himself.
He gets lazy.
He wasn't going. Once Shaq won, right? Once Shaq got the taste of winning for those 3 years, I think his passion for the game and his serious left.
That wasn't Jordan. So if you're telling me, after 2003, where he got his 3-peat, he's facing Jordan, and Jordan's still hungry, like.
But that's what I'm saying. It's just Jordan said it himself. You're gonna guard Shaq. He was like, what? He's like, I'm not guarding Shaq, and that wasn't.
Well, they were gonna flood his ass.
I think prime Shaq would take everybody up in his back.
Listen, man, if AI with Dikembe Mutombo could get a game, I think Jordan can get 4.
Well, yeah, I don't know, man. I think
that's my take on that. If AI could get 1, I think Pippen and Jordan can get 4 on.
Well, that's like I said. But my point to all this whole thing is, in the history of the NBA, while the team put up there,
I mean. I think it's a good. I mean, it was not.
That's the only conversation.
You can have that conversation because Shaq was a monster.
And, it's just like,
there's no one that Shaq. There's no one that could guard Shaq on that Bulls.
Yeah, I think Shaq doesn't get the credit that he deserves for this reason, for his jokes and everything that comes with Shaq. But I feel like they talk about MJ changed the NBA. They talk about Curry came and changed the NBA. I think Shaq did the same thing.
Shaq changed the rim, the construction of the whole basket.
Shaq needed people got paid. People that don't belong in the NBA got paid just to sit around and have fouls.
I think
they just needed big men. There were people getting paid just to foul Shaq.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think the reason why Shaq doesn't get the credit he deserves is because
take it seriously.
Yeah, that's what I'm leading. That's what I'm heading towards. But I think he didn't get to the point where he should have gotten.
Yeah.
He could have been greater.
But this is the thing that Shaq himself said it. I wasn't going for the greatest of all time.
Yeah. If
that was his mindset, I think he would have been.
I think that's why people don't put him in that regard.
Because to be honest,
but he deserves to be mentioned. But I think that's why he doesn't get it is because
I have Shaq,
we always say like
it
was another level.
Yeah, he could have gotten it.
You can make a greatest center. You can make that argument.
To me, that's the greatest center, but it's only based on 5 years. I mean, those 3 years. That's his when he was like motivated. The most motivated like you seen Shaq was in those.
Who's your top 5 centers of all time then?
I got Shaq. I got Kareem. I got
so you're basing Shaq's based on what? Like just his dominance?
Yeah, just
not winning, not none of that. Just dominance.
That's what I mean by like I don't base my GOATs of it's the eye test. The eye test tell me in his prime, there's nothing you could have brought. Whoever you wanted to bring in, nobody's doing nothing with Shaq.
So you got so Shaq, Kareem, then who?
Shaq, Kareem, the guy from Boston,
Bill Russell.
You got to put him up there. Just all around winner. I would put Olajuwon was a center, right?
Yeah, I think he was a center.
Olajuwon. I mean, I think skill wise as a center, like I think to me still the most skilled center ever. Not even close. I know they say Joker, but they have to go back and see. And then who else?
I mean, there's Wilt Chamberlain.
I already put Wilt.
No, you haven't put him.
Oh, then Wilt. Yeah, I thought I put Wilt on there. Oh no, yeah, I left up. Yeah, so then it would be Wilt.
You got Wilt. Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that.
And like I said, it's not based on like just the number. It's just like I said.
I mean, I don't know if I would keep it the same numbers, but I would put those 5 in there. Yeah, I would definitely have Bill in there. I might put Bill at number 1.
But you're basing it on the record.
Accomplishment.
Yeah, but
he had to deal with a Shaq, and he dog walked him.
I don't think that.
Are you telling Bill Walton was? I mean, Bill Walton. Wilt Chamberlain.
Well, Shaq before Shaq
was the Shaq of his era, and he had to deal with him.
Yes, but Shaq is better. Like the second coming of Wilt Chamberlain is Shaq.
This dude is like 6'9", like freaking 110. I'm not 110. I'm obviously exaggerating, but you know he was.
I know, but
playing in chucks trying to hold down Wilt Chamberlain. I've seen rebounds of Wilt Chamberlain with his head was like over the rim.
Over the rim. Again, all that stuff. But if let's say, and I know it's not a one-on-one game, but do you think Bill Russell could defend Shaq in his prime? I don't think so. I think he's gonna foul out if he tries to defend Shaq.
Yeah, but that's what makes you great, right? I'm dealing with Goliath, and I'm winning all these championships.
But again, I think Shaq is better than Wilt. I think.
I mean, have you ever seen Wilt next to Shaq?
I have.
Bro, this dude shook Shaq with one handshake, like almost took his arm right off.
I have, but there's not a better. The biggest person I've ever seen, there's nobody that can move like Shaq. And then people forget.
But Wilt, people forget how fast Wilt was.
But Shaq is twice the size of Wilt in the sense of weight. Shaq was 300 pounds. Like, this is not. Shaq was in his prime, the prime of Shaq. When he won, Shaq is over 300 pounds. When he was in Jack Shaq in the Lakers, it's not like you can't compare Wilt physicality to that.
But Wilt was strong as hell too. I mean, have you ever heard of Arnold Schwarzenegger saying that how strong Wilt was?
Yeah,
he's saying he never seen someone that strong.
And he's
a pro bodybuilder.
The thing is there's different strength. Like, I'm sure he's strong, and I'm sure there's a lot of people like strong, but it's the weight Shaq moved with that body. We should look this up. How much in his prime? How much does Shaq weighed?
Probably 320. I think it was like 320.
And I think Shaq keeps up with the speed of any of those greats.
I think Shaq
at that size.
Yeah, but you got to remember, these guys are playing in Chuck Taylors, bro. Have you ever ran in some Chucks?
No, hell no.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are these guys are getting up and down in Chuck Taylors.
That's true. That's true. But imagine 300. It's crazy. 320 pounds.
Shaq would have played at 320 with some Chuck Taylor. He was rolling his ankle with one drop step.
True. I agree. But still, like, I just seen what Shaq did to everybody he faced. It was just ridiculous.
I'm not saying he wasn't the most dominant. What I'm saying is he had to deal with the Shaq.
True. That's why I have him up there, top 5.
He had to deal with him.
I have him up there.
He was able to get 11 while that Shaq was there.
Yeah. again, that it's a conversation.
I mean, like I said, I don't disagree with your 5.
Yeah, but the numbers, you're.
I hold in my greatness. I hold winning very high.
No,
winning and numbers, but I hold winning a little higher than numbers.
True,
because you can put these numbers. But what does it mean at the end of the day? Like, did you win? Like, no, okay.
No, exactly. But Shaq is not just numbers. I mean, Shaq has
Will is numbers of numbers. It's winning of winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How many championships did Will win?
11.
No, that's not Bill Russell.
I mean Bill Russell. Sorry.
Yeah.
Will 2.
Yeah. See, so
I'm not saying I'm putting Will above Shaq. I said I'm putting Bill.
Oh yeah.
I'm not putting Wilt. I'm putting Bill.
Gotcha.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell, yeah.
Because he had the deal, like all the winning he did. And I know some people want to they always want to take Bill Russell off conversation.
Nah, I'm with you on that.
But I'm like, Bill Russell averaged like 20 rebounds one season, bro. He when have you ever seen dudes average when dudes get 20 and 20, we're like, oh, he got 20 and 20. Bill Russell, like those seasons where he averaged 18 and 20, like he wasn't like a big scorer. He was giving you 18 with 20 rebounds. That's crazy.
Yeah. What about this one thing I want to talk about, because to me it's just nuts.
What is this one?
Russell Westbrook. Like it's starting to get ridiculous. Like it's
where it's coming from.
I don't care where it's coming from. The fact that we're falling for this.
I'm not falling for it. I know a lot of the media is, but a lot of
it's like it's going nuts. Like it's getting crazy. Like Russell's been playing for Denver. For Denver, he's been playing great all year.
Not just Denver, Clippers. He was playing pretty well too.
But this year, there is no excuse. This year, there is no excuse for Russell Westbrook slander. I'm not gonna take it. There's no reason. This year, there's no reason for Russell Westbrook to be like.
Can I add another point to that? Since when have we slandered a guy off like a 5th, 6th option? Since when are we that focused on a guy who's like? Usually the slander comes to the first 2, 3 options. That's usually the first. 1, 2, 3. But when you're going out, you're digging a 5, 6, 7.
You look at all his numbers. You look at his shooting percentage. Everything's good.
Yeah.
There's no his plus and minus, all that, and then he has 2 bad plays.
But notice who is slandering him.
Well, at this point, is everybody.
The most notable slander comes from Lakers fans.
Lakers, yes.
And I'm like, this dude is not on your team anymore. What is
going on?
You know what I mean? Like Nick Wright, Shannon Sharp, big Lakers fans.
Skip Bayless. He's not a Lakers fan, but
I think Skip has always hated Russ. But he's been But the thing, I respect Skip because he's been slandering him since OKC.
And he's never changed.
He's never changed up. This has been his position.
Yeah.
But no one's ever really slandered him.
Correct.
Other than Skip. So I'm like, Skip, I give him a pass. This is what he does always.
But
everybody else is like, why is this? And this has started since he played for LA.
Yeah, that is true. That 100%. That is no question.
And I'm saying Russ is doing nothing different than what he normally does. We all know he's not a freaking, he doesn't shoot the 3 well. He's more of a volume scorer.
This dude
he turns over the ball
decided to come off the bench, and he's been a Hall of Famer that still has energy, and he comes off the bench, no problem, causes no problem, helps your team win, does all the little shit that your team needs, and your coach is getting fired because they're not playing Russ.
Well, they were saying, I heard he got fired because he was playing Russ.
I mean, that's what my bad. Yes. The manager or whatever didn't want Russ to play. Even though
some of the reports that I heard, I don't know how true it is, but they were saying that some of the players were kind of mad that Russ was getting favoritism and that Russ was playing hard and making guys look bad. Because as a coach, right? If you're a coach, you want to play the guy who's gonna play hard.
Yeah, that's the whole key. Step up to the game and beat him out for the position.
So a lot of the guys are were complaining, and I'm like, who the hell's complaining? If it's not Jokic or Murray or you know what I mean, or guys like that. Other guys can shut up.
The GM brought this, drafted this player. He wants that player to get minutes. But I forget who it was, in my bad, because I'm not gonna give the person credit. But they said, look, Murray went down. They gave the other player and he couldn't take advantage of the position. He couldn't take the position from Russ. So it's not Russ's fault. So it's to me it's all it's just nuts.
Well, I mean, I've heard from other NBA players that the NBA is kind of once you get older, they try to phase you out. And even though you're nice enough to play, they'll tell you now you got 10 minutes or you got 5 minutes. They give you your number. I don't care if you're on pace to get 20 in those 5 minutes. You're playing 5 minutes.
But this is the thing. Is like the rebound, the passing, and he's giving you 14, 15 points a game with good shooting percentage. It's not like Carmelo Anthony. Yeah, Carmelo Anthony was a great player, but at the end of his career, he wasn't contributing as enough. He's not doing what Russ is doing.
No, he wasn't doing Russell. But Carmelo, when he left his last year, he actually played well on the Lakers.
Yeah, like he in a good team, like, but he's a liability on defense. So it's kind of like it's a little different. But Russ is not a liability on defense.
I mean, he plays hard on both ends.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't in Denver. I don't see who you want to start over Russ. I don't see it.
Well, like I said, it's coming from one side, man. We all know where it's coming from. It's that same team.
Yeah,
and I think they're still pissed that they missed the playoffs with them. I think they're just out to ruin them. But because every time I've seen it, every time they lose, see, we're not crazy.
Yeah,
what we said about them. And I'm like, yo, leave them alone, bro. Like focus on your own team.
Stop talking because what I said was I don't understand why the NBA, ESPN, I don't know what the hell is going on. Like it's like they are decided that this is what they're gonna do. And I don't understand it. Like, it just makes no sense. Like, this is a Hall of Famer. We used to respect, like, it didn't matter if they won or not. Like, Allen Iverson never won a game. Nobody disrespected Allen Iverson.
I guarantee you, if Iverson played with Bron, they would probably hate him.
Man, listen, that's just, it's just nuts to me. I don't see why we're doing, and then we're going to put him on, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. How?
Top 75.
How are we going to do that if these kids, all they're going to remember is this slander for Russell Westbrook? And then we're going to put him on a, like, I don't get it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
If I'm Russ, I retired. I'm not dealing with this shit. Like, if I'm Russ, I'm not doing it.
I mean, some people just endure to get that extra check. I mean, $4 million a year. I mean, he's taking the minimum too. Like
they're getting Russ for $4 million.
Yeah, it's like $4 million. I think I'll look up the actual number, but it's like I think it's like $4 million. They're getting it for cheap.
They should
and he's starting too.
And that is shameful.
You know, a starter usually makes like 20.
Yeah, that is shameful.
He's like 15, 20 or something.
And he look, is Russell Westbrook a number one option on a winning team ever? I don't think so. I never thought Russ was like that. But was he a great player and that he could help a team win? 100%. Yeah, when OKC didn't win, I know everybody's like Russ. I don't see Russ' fault with OKC not winning. I see Kevin Durant because we put him as the best player, right? We put Kevin Durant as the best player in OKC. We've never put Russ over him. So when they lose, all of a sudden it's Russ' fault. But it's not Kevin Durant's fault. And Kevin Durant hasn't won with anybody else either. Yeah. So how is it Russ' fault?
I think it's because Russ is unapologetically him, and he has attitude towards the media. So a lot of people are just taking it out.
Yeah, it's crazy for me. I can't even see it anymore. It's
you know what he's making, right? He's on a 2-year deal for 6.8. So he's making what, 3.4?
Jesus Christ.
A year.
And I should be, I'll be happy if I got him for that price. I'll be like, yo, play this dude.
And they're still trying to find a way to blame him. Like the guy getting the veteran minimum.
I can't wait. I hope when the playoff starts, Russ plays amazing. Yeah. Because I want to see what the fuck people are going to say.
My thing is, yeah, hopefully he does. But they're going to say next year when he has a bad game, they're going to still, like he played in the Clippers.
He in the Clippers and this whole year. There is no reason.
They're not going to stop until he retires.
And that's
the toxicity of playing with that dude.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, like, as Luka better watch himself too. Like, let them screw up in the playoffs. You already saw what they did to AD. Yeah. And AD used to be held up here when he was in New Orleans. People used to be like, "Oh, AD, he's gonna be this, he's gonna be," and now they're like, "Oh, get rid of him."
It's tough. What about the Knicks? I don't. That's another team that I'm just like. I know injuries have played a part in it, but I really thought it was gonna be Celtics Knicks finals. semifinals in the East. I really thought that's what we were gonna get. I don't think so
anymore. Oh, you don't think they're gonna lose in the first round?
I don't think they're gonna.
I think it's Detroit. You think Detroit with Cade Cunningham?
I don't know. I think so. I don't know what it is, but New York doesn't feel the same as they did last year. What was the reason? I don't know.
I mean, we said it earlier, man. You're replacing a dog with a cat.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just.
It might be the DiVincenzo curse.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't see them like doing what I thought they were gonna do.
I mean, they have the talent.
That's what I mean. The talent's there, but
it's like the questions when they went and got Bridges.
Yeah,
and it's like you have all of these similar players together. They're all like kind of like 3-and-D, kind of small forward positions like Bridges, Hart. You have OG. Then I forget who else off the bench they have. Forget his name. But anyways, like you have a lot of similar players, and it's like,
correct.
Where do you fall in line with that?
It's gonna be.
But then you lose DiVincenzo, who I know DiVincenzo isn't as good as Bridges, but he had a certain personality and dog in him.
Exactly.
They kind of fed.
Yeah, like I said, the NBA is forgetting about the emotion of the game. Like, you need that person that brings it out of you. Like, hate it or love him, Draymond Green. If you're on Draymond Green's team, you're not going to be out there and not have a passion. He's not going to let you. So, like, every team needs that. And before, like, Kobe was that for the Lakers. MJ was that for his team. Like, he's not accepting your full in every game. If you're not going to do it, they're going to call you out on it. And the NBA is missing that. LeBron James don't do it either. So
yeah,
because he's not gonna face to face, he ain't gonna do it. So
yeah, I mean, if you look at that team, right, where they had Randall, right? When Randall went down, that's when New York became like this gritty ass team.
Yeah.
So like Brunson was like your number one option, taking all these shots.
And they had
now you have
defense.
Cat, and like you have to balance that out between Cat and Brunson.
I feel like Brunson, they should have. Brunson should play behind Cat. I mean, Cat should play behind Brunson. Yeah.
I'm like, nah, Cat should be number 2.
Yeah, exactly. That I
don't think Cat has a problem being number 2.
I don't think so either. But
I just don't think Cat has that. I think Cat worked well with Minnesota.
Yes.
I don't think he works that well with New York. I mean, even though his numbers are like better in New York, I just think like the personality dynamic, I don't think it goes well.
It goes back to the same thing we forgot down when Minnesota trading Cat. Another, like, I don't understand. I don't, like, why do you separate? You still build around Cat and Ant. That's what you should have done. But
I think they saw Randall can score just as much as Cat, and then you get DiVincenzo. But that didn't work out that well.
I think Randall could score like Cat, but it's a different way of scoring. He needs the ball. Like, he needs more of the ball than Cat does. He's not gonna, like. I think Cat is a better offensive player in the sense he could do it different ways than Randall. So I think it made Minnesota worse. You have Ant needs the ball, Randall needs the ball. I think Cat could play better without the ball than Randall. So that's where it's killing that team. And they're in the playoff. What was their number 7 too, I think, right?
Right now they're number 7, I think, yeah.
But they're not going nowhere, I don't think.
They're dangerous. They're one of the most dangerous number 7s. Minnesota?
Yeah. You think so?
They give Denver such a problem.
Might be a matchup to me. I don't think
if they get the right matchup, they're gonna be a problem for somebody. I mean, at 7, they'll get Houston. That'll be interesting. They seem to have a good plan for like those bigs, like a Jokic or Şengün.
I think what's clear is Celtics. I don't see anybody beating the Celtics in the East. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, like the Knicks, like they've lost to all the top teams. I think the Celtics beat them all 4 times. I don't think they beat Cleveland at all either.
Celtics?
No, the Knicks.
The Knicks, yeah.
The Knicks haven't beat the Celtics at all this season.
They haven't beat any top team.
They haven't beat any of the top teams. So like, them going in. Like, I don't see them. If they win the first round, I mean, I think they can beat Detroit, but they're not beating the Celtics.
And then We talked about the Bucks. I think the Bucks are not gonna. Even though I think Giannis is. Giannis to me was always just a physical player. All of a sudden, he's getting triple doubles. He's passing the ball. He's taking his time. Like when he's setting up his offense, it's like he's using his head to play. Like he's making that upgrade of not just using his physicality.
Yeah, I think the Bucks, they've aged. Brook Lopez isn't the same. Yep. They lost Middleton. Lillard obviously with his issues.
Even if he plays I don't think he's gonna do much.
And I mean they need to make some serious changes before Giannis leaves. I mean people keep saying Giannis to the Warriors. I mean I don't see how that goes, but
not anymore.
I mean I can see Giannis going to Miami.
Again, you let Butler go, so you need somebody else to come with him now. So
Thanasis, that's all you need. I'm serious. What do you think? You think I'm joking, bro?
Hey, listen, he's an energy guy. He brings in. I don't know.
He's the energy guy. Yeah. You think Thanasis isn't gonna make 3% body fat? Like,
oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Thanasis is gonna make the whatever weight running regiment he needs to do. You get Thanasis. Bring by the mama house.
Hey, maybe that might do it. Maybe that might do it for Miami.
Get a bunch of dogs around Giannis.
I think
Bam and Giannis.
That's a good backcourt. I mean, front court. So
you get Bam and Giannis, a bunch of shooters around them.
I think Giannis now is where like a little bit of like that LeBron game that he needs shooters because he's just gonna kick it out, drive and kick to anybody.
Well, they always had some shooting around them. Like Middleton was a
good shooter. Yeah,
Holiday can hit.
Yeah,
I mean, they used to have. Damn, I forget all people's names. George Hill used to be on that team. He played a little bit in San Antonio.
That in and out game. That's what they used. That's always feed Giannis down low.
Crowder was out there for a little bit,
and he's also.
Is Crowder still there?
I don't know.
Damn, Crowder.
I haven't seen Crowder yet. He was a good shooter. I don't know.
I liked Crowder when he was in Boston.
Me too. Who else? Who else are we missing?
Detroit, man. Detroit's bringing basketball back.
Yeah.
Bro. They were playing for chicken last year. Now they're bringing the NBA where it needs to be.
I like it. I like that they're bringing that physicality back.
I like Detroit. They're not there yet for winning, but I like the attitude behind Detroit. Detroit and Houston. I like what Ime is doing over there. Dylan Brooks can be a little annoying, but I like it. You know what I mean?
You need those type of players.
I like what you know what I mean? Because
get into somebody's head. Like
he's not friends with anybody. Like, he's just coming out there. He's trying to be annoying. He's trying to be a pest. And you can see wherever he brings that energy, they win. Like he was doing that in Memphis. They were like a number 2 team.
Correct.
And then they got tired of him and got rid of him. But he goes to Houston. I look at Houston. Houston's the number 2 team. So I'm like. That energy he brings, it
counts.
Works.
It matters.
So I like those 2 teams. I mean, I hope more teams start getting a little more gritty, a little more physical.
I think all this talent league with a little bit of physicality will wash all that away.
I mean, that's the thing is everybody's like, oh, skill, but it's like
you
need those guys that aren't as skilled but are just physical and they're just gonna make the game fight.
Correct. Like all these players nowadays, like Jokic, he would have needed to bulk up. He would have needed to become more physical to be able to take the punishment. That's all done. It's gone out of the league. Like players used to come into the league and beef up because they needed. College players couldn't just come in the league because they didn't have the body. That was a big talking point back in the day. He needs to grow into the NBA body. The league has gotten so soft that college players come in and they're able to impact the game because you don't need to change as much anymore because there's no physicality in the game. And to me, all we need is a big dominant physical player, like a big center that plays back to the basket, and you'll see the league start changing again. You'll see the league start going away from those threes to back to the 2000s and 90s. All we need is one. And one that's healthy because I thought Embiid was going to be that player, but
Embiid shot too much, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they come in and they start shooting. And he's AD. Another thing with AD. Like, dude, stop shooting so much. Like, go get your ass down there. So all we need is one player that's gonna make the league change back, because you're not gonna be able to. These little skinny guys are not gonna be able to do nothing. So hopefully,
that's the thing. I don't know if we'll ever get back though. I hope so, but the thing is, like, now they're breeding these 6'9" kids to just shoot and dribble. Yeah. Like, none of them are developing post games.
Yeah, and again, if you listen out, Shaq says it all the time. You just need one big dude that's gonna make everybody go like, oh shit, we need big dudes now. We need a big man.
Yeah, no, if you had a Shaq right now, he would feast.
Yes,
he would go crazy.
There is nobody stopping somebody like Shaq in this era. Like,
he would go crazy. You look at some of the centers now.
Yeah,
like Draymond Green is the center. Like, Shaq would have been licking his lips. Like,
exactly.
He would have been freaking. He would have barbecue chicken.
Exactly. In the 90s, Draymond Green is not a center at all.
He would have been a small forward.
Correct. And not a good one either, because then you need more skill to score. Like, yeah, I don't think he's gonna.
He would have to improve his shooting a lot.
So
like Robert Horry.
Exactly. That's where and Draymond ain't doing that.
He would have to. He have no choice.
So we know Celtics are coming out the East, the West. Who's your? I know it's early and it's hard to tell, but right now, who do you think who are you going with?
If I had to bet on it, that's a tough one. It's so tough because there's so many teams that are right there, and one little thing can just switch everything.
An injury could mess everything up. So
for me, it's between Denver and OKC. I'm gonna lean OKC, but my sleeper that I hope makes to the finals so we can get our revenge is the Warriors. I'm hoping the Warriors get there so we can beat the brakes off of them. But I'm gonna lean OKC.
I'm going Warriors.
I think Warriors all the way.
I think Jimmy Butler, if he is everything, and of course this is all giving health. If anything happens that changes, any team for any reason, a big injury or whatever, of course that changes everything. But right now, in a 7-game series, I think it's going to be hard to beat the Warriors.
I just think as long as they can avoid Denver, I think Denver will be a matchup problem for them.
For the height reason, I think when the playoffs come, it's going to be hard for Denver. If Murray doesn't come back, it's going to be. I think it's just going to be.
Just because I think the Joker is too skilled for Draymond.
Yeah, but it's just he's gonna have to score. Like, he's gonna have to average how much.
Yeah, but they have guys that can get buckets. Like, they have like Aaron Gordon's been hooping lately. And if Murray's back healthy, like, he can get buckets too.
Yeah,
Porter can get hot. I mean, he's not consistent, but Porter can get hot. I just think there's too much size. You're gonna have Gordon. Porter's like 6'10", and you're gonna have Joker, and you're gonna have this small ball Warriors lineup.
Yeah, but
they're gonna get abused on the like we've seen playoff Jimmy with Miami try this with Denver before.
Yeah, but he didn't have Steph.
No, he didn't have Steph.
Like, if Steph is Steph, and he commands the attention that Steph, Jimmy's gonna cook.
Steph is gonna command, but that's the thing is you have a lot of guys that can chase Steph, with Murray and Westbrook and Braun, and then Watson.
Yeah, you
have a lot of guys that can just. Steph is one guy. Like, they can.
The thing with Steph is it's just the attention that if Steph is Steph, it's gonna open up the floor, I think. And if Jimmy's Jimmy, who do you pick, Jimmy or
who's gonna cover Jimmy?
Who?
Gordon. And I don't think Jimmy's gonna be able to just abuse Gordon.
I think Jimmy will. I think Jimmy
Gordon's
wins that matchup.
Much bigger than him.
I think the Warriors in that game have Jokic is Jokic, but after that, I think everybody else wins.
Listen. I think Gordon will give Jimmy some problems.
We're gonna see, and also, like I said, what's the impact gonna be with the coaching situation?
That's another factor.
Like, how's that gonna?
Well, the thing is, like,
we saw Jokic have to grab the clipboard.
Yeah, you have to sometimes. But the thing is, like, all right, they got a new coach, right? But it's the new coach. I think he's gonna be the assistant.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be running the same plays. Like, he's not gonna come in there and just throw all the playbook. We're gonna start from scratch. Like,
but I think is what it does to the team itself. Like, Russ finding out that players are mad and they don't want to. I just think the inside the team itself is not gonna be a good team.
That could play a factor.
Yeah,
it can be a factor.
Yeah.
I don't think it will be, just because I feel like Russ has so much to prove. I think he's gonna probably have to block it out and just go.
Like I said, if Russ plays good and Denver wins, not the championship, just makes it far, I hope I hear apologies for us. I hope you're man enough to say it on camera too. That's because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, but they're not gonna apologize. One,
we know it,
and they're gonna wait for his next bad game to double down.
Yeah, it's like,
so like that. I mean, that apology should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah,
and it didn't happen. So they're gonna stay on Russ until he retires.
I think if I was Russ, I'll retire just because it's not gonna do good for his. He cannot improve his legacy.
He really wants that championship. That's the thing that it comes. I think that's what it comes down to. He wants that chance to get it.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna, because he's not gonna be, unless, like I said, unless they win, the Nuggets win this whole thing.
I think it's Boston's year this year again.
That's the only way I see Russ, But
like I said, I think the West. I don't think there's any clear cut anything. I think it depends. I think if the Warriors get that 6, and they play the Lakers, I think they could beat the Lakers. I think there's a possibility they beat Houston because they're young.
OKC,
it depends what we see in OKC. How grueling were their other 2 playoff series? Like if they come in banged up into the Western Finals, it all depends. They have a chance to get them. The Warriors have a chance to get a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But if they face Denver, I don't think they get Denver. I think that. It's the same thing. Like I think if Denver gets Minnesota, I think Minnesota gets them.
It gets Denver. Yeah, it's a matchup game. We'll see. We're about to find out. But I'm rolling with Celtics, Warriors.
Yeah, I think I can see a possibility of the Warriors. Like I said, that's my sleeper. I think it'll be Denver or OKC. I'll lean more towards OKC. For Celtics, OKC.
We'll see. I think all the Celtics, all the other people, talking about LeBron James is gonna win. It's. I don't think the Lakers are there yet. I think you're right. I think there might be a few years, because I think we already see it. Like people don't want to talk about it, but LeBron James past few years, like it's not the same player.
It's not.
He's not. I don't think he's gonna.
And the whole thing is like they keep showing his numbers compared to like back then.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you honestly saying that he's now the same player as he was then? Are you crazy?
No.
Like the player then was an MVP conversation.
Correct.
The player then can take a team to the championship.
By himself, he impacted the game to a level, but LeBron James is not that anymore. It's getting masked.
Yeah.
It's getting masked by the numbers. And it's just not.
It's just showing, like, now that the game is less physical, like Shaq is saying.
You could stay around longer.
Not just stay around longer, but it's easier to get numbers.
Exactly. It's like 25 is like 15 a few years ago.
Somewhere around those lines.
Maybe 15 is too much, but it's to that level where it's like if you average 25, 15 back then, you could probably average 20.
There's a lot of with the foul baiting. You can't put your hands on anybody.
That's why I think OKC is and SGA they're not.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because in the playoffs,
everything it becomes tighter, it's more physical. You're not gonna get those calls.
The refs let it go a lot more in the playoffs. That's what hurts James Harden.
Yes,
that's why James Harden was getting shit on in the playoffs.
Yeah,
it's because
a lot of players like that.
Because in the regular season, the refs are giving them a call. In the playoffs, they don't call it as much.
Exactly, and then a lot of those points are free throws for these players. So you're not averaging those numbers, like if you're not getting all those free throws all the time.
Yeah. So
it's gonna be interesting for OKC. Like I said, a lot of people are high on them, but I wouldn't be surprised. Second round they're out.
I would be surprised. Who's on their path? Who's at 8? Sacramento.
I think it's Sacramento. Yeah, because
is it Sacramento or Memphis? I think Memphis.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's tricky because the Clippers are also right there.
Well, the Clippers right now they're at 5.
Yeah. True.
Clippers are at 5 right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Golden State's at 6, 7 Minnesota, and then I think 8 is Memphis.
Yeah.
And then it goes I think either Sacramento or Mavs. They're down there.
Around there.
So I don't think either Sacramento or Mavs are making the playoffs. I think maybe they get Memphis. They can beat Memphis.
Yeah.
They can beat Memphis, and then next they would have the winner of Clippers and Denver.
And I think the Clippers will get OKC out of here.
You think Clippers get Denver?
I think the Clippers, to me, is the Warriors and the Clippers in the West worry me, because Kawhi Leonard is one of those players that is just so weird. He's a weird superstar.
That's gonna be a good series. I got Denver winning. I got Denver beating them, and I think Denver versus OKC, and I think the winner of that makes it to the finals.
We've been here for a while. We haven't checked. Let me see. Wasn't it at 3?
3:30.
Nuggets 36 right now. They're winning. They're beating the Rockets.
That game almost doesn't even matter.
Warriors Clippers, like I said, is going to be a good game.
Are they playing?
They're playing right now.
Who's up right now?
Clippers are up.
How much?
By 2 points.
Oh, okay.
So it's just started, but the Clippers worry me. There's one thing I learned from Kawhi in the playoffs. He's like Jimmy. He's one of those players, but he'll do a number on you.
It's interesting. I still got Denver. I still got my faith on the Joker. And I don't think. I mean, Zubac is a big body.
We'll see. We'll see who goes there. What else? I think that's pretty much it.